Yeah.
Hello.
It's very of time, I will say. The
Yo.
song is very of its time. What up, Settlers of Catan loser?
Shut the hell up, Jacob. Shut the hell up. We're
I
gonna
am-
beat. You realize we are going to beat your ass eventually.
No, it's fair. I just realized
We
apparently
tried so
I am apparently a savant at Settlers of Catan.
Like, at least against the two of us.
At least against my siblings.
He just kicked our ass for
Oh.
the 5th time in Settlers in Catan.
I've been updating the map slightly, just with
I
Ooh.
can
some more
see.
info.
Life into pieces.
Oh, so
This
much
is
stuff.
my sword. Suffocation. No breathing. And I got my arm bleeding.
Wow.
My last resort. I will say the song is very of its time, meaning like early 2000s.
Yeah, that's when I was born.
Same.
Not me.
Desi is 13 years older than I am, I believe.
11.
Oh, you're 11? I thought you were 13 because I thought there was 3 years between
Nope,
you and
you're
Mary.
10 years. No, me and Mary are 18 months apart.
Oh, I've been getting that wrong my entire life.
You have. So wrong.
Only
Me and
2
Mary are
years.
actually the closest in age out of all the siblings.
Why are Gemma and Zeri in the ocean?
Oh, right
See?
now it's just because
They having a swim. Blub blub.
I was about to
more
say
like
they're-
I was just putting them with the name of the place where they were. They are technically at Port Coventry.
Ooh.
Right
Why
now.
not put them on the location marker for Port Coventry?
That sounds fancy.
I forgot I turned snapping sensitivity way up. In getting
Does
volume
anyone else
input.
remember that song, by the way? I know Desi's probably knows
Yes.
it very well. Because that was a song that was like popular when you were a teenager, right?
Probably. It's
But what
Sum
about you,
41,
Andrew?
I believe.
What song?
Last
It's the-
Resort, Papa Roach.
Never
Was
heard
it?
it before in my life.
Oh.
Cut my life into pieces.
Never mind, I've
is
heard
my
that.
li- Okay.
He's like, I
It
know
is
what it
very
sounds
much one
like,
of those
I just don't know the
songs.
name of it.
I need to take another shower today. I don't know what it is, but I've been like sweating a lot recently.
Yeah, the temperature has gone up, you know.
Well, I know, but I've pretty much stayed inside. It's weird.
Uh.
You're
Okay.
steady.
Hopefully you're not getting sick.
I mean, I don't feel sick, but I mean that doesn't mean necessarily anything.
The thing that's been going around is kind of weird. Like, you finally can tell my voice has gone back to normal. But yeah, it's like, I don't know what to call it. It's somewhere between a cold and an allergy. And it lasts for 7 to 10 days. And it's terrible because it's so misleading. Like, the first 4 days, it was perfectly fine. And then you get really, really sick really fast. And then it takes forever to get over it. I don't know what it is. Flu. Well, I know it's not COVID, and I know it's not strep throat because I got tested for both of those, and they were negative.
That's good.
Good.
It's like, nope, it's not one of those. I don't know what it is, the doctor says, but there's not really much we can do about it. Okay.
That's always the
Bye.
most reassuring thing to
I
hear.
know. That was like, it's like, why? Why did I should have just stayed home.
Good
care
news
of
is you'll
myself
probably
like-
get something named after you if they figure out what's wrong with you.
I'm assuming it was a type of flu.
Probably.
They said it was some sort of virus. Well, good for you.
Okay, so I know Star had posted in the chat that they that they were working on things, that they were feeling better and might be able to. I have not heard anything from them since. Okay. So, yes.
Jacob?
Sorry.
What are you and Mary chatting about?
No, this has nothing to do with Mary. I found the other version that I was looking for, where it's the exact same thing but with different lyrics, essentially.
Is it the unclean version?
No. It's the cut my life into pizzas. This is my plastic fork. Oven baking. I'm finding. Don't give a if the carbs I'm eating. Something like that.
You do realize there's also a Weird Al version of that song. It's Angry White Polka Boys, I believe. Yep, he's got it mixed into his Angry White Polka Boy one. That one's really actually kind of funny. Because it's just a little snip from a bunch of different songs done in his style. Cool.
Neat.
Who? Oh, I've always wanted to meet her. Oh, really? That's interesting.
She's dark like me, but she's very whimsical.
Not disappointed. Not disappointed in the slightest. I just hit random on Hero Forge, and I am not disappointed.
Okay.
What showed up? Usually that...
That's either usually very cursed or very cool.
Hold up.
What showed up?
Let me get a picture of this. I
Save
still
it.
have to randomize colors.
Save it. Don't let it go away.
Yes, am doing so.
That's good.
Well, gaming friends, not friends I hang out with.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to
Huh.
I'm really excited about the travel. I think it'll be fun.
Give you something to do.
I know.
You get paid to.
Oh, son of a bitch! I'm about to leave. I'm in my slippers.
Where's Mary headed to?
Where are you headed to, Jacob Wonders?
Oh, I'm going to Schnucks because I want to get some ingredients to make some of the stuff in that that cookbook.
The Hayao Miyazaki one?
I definitely am going to try to make bee buns.
That's cool.
And I'm going to try to do it from scratch.
Do you know if you can't find the red beans, black beans will substitute?
Okay, whenever they say bean paste, is it literally just like mashed up beans?
Yeah, you have to boil it in sugar to make it. Yes, that's why it's sweet bean paste.
Because I'm pretty sure, at least, I need to actually go over to St. Louis here in a bit and see if I bet you they have an Oriental store where
Probably
I can
do.
actually buy real red bean paste.
Yeah. Whoa.
That was
That is-
Hero Forge at random.
Wow. It's Gollum, but a female version, and it's like the hair. Huh.
It's like, hey, I got a floppy sword here.
And then I'm like, wait, I gotta do all this stuff.
Hey, what you looking at? I'm walking here with a floppy sword and bare feet, eh? Now let's do random garb.
I don't know why, but after a moment of looking at this hero forge, I had a thought, and I'm just gonna write it in.
Okay.
All right.
And hope that people get the reference. And I now uppercase and lowercase random words.
No, me
Okay.
all the way down.
Now I random close.
I'll let you out when I come back.
Oh. I know exactly what you're going for.
Miruba.
Desi, do you mind if I interrupt you?
Is that my Karuba?
Hi, Marubiba.
Marobiba. I thought it was something else. I do not understand the reference, I don't think.
Drawfee.
Oh, I haven't watched Trophy in a while. Is that one of the new things?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, man.
newer.
Here's the random close it assigned.
Drawing random medieval words, I believe.
It's my favorite Disney.
Oh,
that is
wait, I have
beautiful.
seen this.
That is beautiful.
Marobiba. And Mowage.
Okay, guys, I'm talking to the star right now, and I think she's gonna have to sit this one out.
Aw, that's okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, I want to create this character now.
Whoa! This character is awesome, Jacob.
I want to play as this character.
I want you to play as this angry, small woman.
This angry small, I want to say druid gnome?
Druid? Oh no, Amazonian like.
Desi, it's like
It seems like, okay, she's a druid in title, but what she really does is just, like, take trees and bash them over the heads of other people.
I was thinking maybe more of a barbarian, or maybe rogue with some fae background stuff.
Yeah, yeah. She definitely comes from nature, but honestly does not care about it.
I was thinking a ranger by like a ranger, but not by choice.
Maybe like forest hermit got lost in the woods, just never came out.
Hey, I'm gonna slay this dragon for you! You're gonna give me money for it! Understood? We don't have a dragon problem. I'm gonna slay this dragon!
I'm only gonna try one of these at a time. I'm not gonna go too crazy.
Or oh my gosh, it would be great. Like okay, so she hates all plant kind, and that's why her clothes are like completely made out of plants.
She's not a druid. She hates druid. Don't get it twisted. She may be wearing nature, freaking hates plants. She's actually
wears like animal skins.
Yeah, yeah. She constantly tries setting forest fires.
Her name shall be Winona.
I like Marobiba.
Marobiba?
Yeah.
That sounds good too.
This is Marobiba now.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm digging this angle. This angry angle. This is hold on. I'm sorry for derailing further.
You're good.
I'm gonna just post one more angle, and this is the angle you see because she's so short. This is the angle that you as a normal person would see her.
Why if we give her wings and make her a pixie?
Wait, that's the wrong one. I can in fact do that, but give me a second.
Just this very pissed off fairy.
With a Boston accent.
Yeah, with a Boston accent. This is how you see her if you walk up to her.
That is the last thing you see before you die.
Before you die.
All right. Well, Marobiba, welcome to the family, I guess.
I'm Marobiba.
Marobiba.
Okay.
God, that was beautiful. Anyway.
So, when last we left our heroes,
our heroes, Marobiba. Sorry, continue.
I was watching the clip.
It's great.
It is great.
Okay, so we traveled. We made it to Alec. You interrogated the dude.
We did.
You
Yes.
did. You got
It was
some
a-
information. Uh-huh. Sorry if I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. You got some more information. You made Tsubaki made a breakthrough in decoding some of the language.
Yeah, I did. Kind of got Zagra, but you know what? I did that.
Catch.
Catch. That's the one. Sorry.
Yep. Can't even remember who you hurt, huh?
Not at this point.
You found out about a power source that completely vanished some time ago.
Ooh.
Talked to a bartender. And yeah.
No means no.
Interesting.
And so, I suppose then we can pick up after a long rest. So if you have not had one, you can apply one.
Yeah, didn't we go to like an inn or something?
Yep, you got
Yeah.
places for the night.
Yeah.
Let me open up that character sheet. That's kind of important.
Question.
Yep.
Has my HP gone back up?
Nope.
Oh.
That was maximum hit points are permanently reduced by 5.
Uh-huh.
That's because it's because your armor.
No, it's because of you.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it?
It's
It
not
was-
because of my armor, Desi.
I thought you were wearing that crappy armor.
The armor only affects armor.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is your music that affected my health. Don't get it twisted.
my bad. My bad. I didn't know it was permanent damage. Well, can't play that around you.
No, Andrew said it was permanent, but to be fair, it has been a hot minute.
Yeah.
It has been a couple weeks, so yeah.
And I'm a wizard too, so it hurts a lot, you know. I'm down to 20.
Oh.
Okay. So the sun rises in the morning. What is your plans for action immediately?
I feel
That's a good
awful.
question.
My plans in this immediate action is going to go to Tsubaki and be like, is there any way in which you can fix?
I'm going to well, I assume that anything I can do damage, maybe I'll find a way to heal damage.
Maybe sing the song in reverse or something.
I don't want to play with something I'm not quite sure. You don't want to make it worse, okay?
Oh, geez, I wish you had that inclination before yesterday.
This is the first time I've actually played a song that, wasn't a spell on purpose, and it caused damage in that kind of way. I was unaware of this.
With long rest, also exhaustions also go up by 1, so go back down by 1, I guess.
I was about to say go up by 1. What?
Sorry, I spoke that backwards. I
what,
know what I meant to say.
What kind of D&D campaign are you running, Andrew?
The one where my mouth said the wrong thing, even though my brain said the right thing.
That's fair. That'd be an interesting idea
most.
for like another plane of existence, though. Like by sleeping, you regain your like HP and everything, but by sleeping, you get 1 exhaustion. But by staying up for 8 hours during the night, you like lose it, but you don't get HP back. That's interesting.
There's a realm that works similar to that. Not exactly, but it's high gravity and it slowly just crushes you.
Oh, I see.
But we're not there right now.
I hope we don't go there.
That would not be particularly.
That sounds unpleasant.
That does in fact sound quite unpleasant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking of ways of helping me to develop this newfound ability. I wonder if there's a way for me to put up a barrier against sound. so that I could actually practice it while no one can hear me.
There is such a spell, yes.
I would like to learn how to do that spell, if you don't mind. Do you know it?
I do not know it per se.
Alright.
I know of it.
All right.
Unfortunately, it is not a spell that I am able to learn.
Okay. Well, something to think about eventually.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, all right. So we made it to town. We had a long rest. We're looking pretty decent. Sorry, Catch. Uh, but the rest of us are doing pretty good. So, what are we doing? Aren't we here for Zagra's people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Catch in
Let's
the
look-
morning is gonna go down to like the inn and order like just a bowl of oats. Just try to get back. This is the smoky high inn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is
We
it
probably
still
don't got
smoky
oats.
high in the morning?
It is not. They air it
Okay,
outside.
cool.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you were high, so we just tucked you into bed and hoped
Yeah,
for
I
the
was
best.
closer to all the smoke. I'm gonna go to the bartender. Do you perchance have a bowl of oats and grains?
Yeah, we can get you some of that. And
Thank
they kind of head to the back, and you see them pull a ladle into a large pot and then draw it into a bowl and bring out you a bowl of a bit watery, but generally solid oatmeal. Like it's
It's Marleto's oatmeal.
Oh no. All right, thank you.
it's very bland. Like there is no flavor.
And you said it's like oatmeal. It's not just regular dry oats or anything, right?
No, it is oatmeal.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
figured.
no, there is like no flavor, and it's just kind of a little bit more watery than normal.
I
Sounds
see.
awful.
It is very good, thank you. And I will pay. What is this? 2 silver? 1?
1 silver. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It.
I will tip an extra silver.
Wow, they are. Thank you very very much.
Yes.
I
I
tip.
apologize for yesterday and any uncomfortable questions I might have asked of you.
It's a different bartender.
Damn. I think you know what? I don't think Ketch knows that.
Fair enough. That's completely fair. No, yeah, it's a different guy. Thanks. Happy to help.
I'm just gonna continue to eat my oatmeal in silence until my compatriots come down.
Okay.
I'm just right down there with you. I'd like to scan the inn and see if there's anyone.
There's a couple people, but they seem to be keeping to themselves. Just more or less people passing through. And maybe a couple people from around town, but
Any rings?
go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay.
Perception.
Okay, 16.
A couple of them are wearing rings, but they are none of the ones that you would recognize.
Gotcha.
It's okay, Mila. Mommy will be back later.
Who is Mila?
Mila's the dog.
There's a dog in here?
Yeah. The blind guy brought her in.
It's kind of eating some scraps off the floor. Completely ignoring a bowl of oatmeal that's sitting next to their foot.
It knows better. They know better.
Subaki.
Yep.
I'm sure Zace would be coming down as well, kind of as well around this time.
I'm sure Zace and I come down together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kind of meet up and
Chatting, over nothing. Trying to, those crazy bandits, guys.
Yeah.
That crazy catch.
Poor catch.
What happened there? I don't know.
Long story.
But like now that the place has kind of been aired out a bit, lights have been placed around just to kind of keep up with the gradually rising sun, and so it's nice and bright in here. You can see that the actual wooden frame of the building has like names carved all over it. It's just everyone who has come through here seems to have been trying to leave their own mark on the place. There are different glyphs and patterns and such. It's a very free form art establishment, essentially.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna carve my name into the establishment.
Okay. No one will stop you. This is something that a lot of people have done, and people will continue to do for a while. And if you've ever been to like a Max and Irma's, there's kind of like a lot of tchotchkes kind of all over the place. Not to the point where it looks cluttered, but to the point where everything is full. Like, there really isn't any undecorated space. So it's just... It is a very dense building. You see Ketch kind of sitting over at the table, and it is a wooden table, but there's kind of a piece of glass on top of it, and so while the wood itself is the inner rings of a tree stump that, like, just a complete cross section, there have been playing cards that have been built, and some of them have been wood burned into the wood itself. So it looks like as though a game has been being played, and some cards have been flipped over, some of them haven't. And the ones that have been flipped over are just burned into the wood and not actually there. And so it's this completely decorative...
This is a surprisingly fancy place for a hookah den.
Huh. Wonder who owns this place.
Hey, barkeep, who owns this establishment?
That would be my cousin. He usually runs the night shifts here.
It's a pretty...
So we probably would have ran into him last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there you go, Tsubaki.
Bit of a collector. A little bit of an eccentric kind of guy.
Oh, I'm just thinking about my research, truthfully.
Ooh. What are you researching on?
Oh, with the music. I'm just thinking of how I could use it and what I can do with it.
I mean, we always like having songs played here.
I mean,
You-
I would have
Catch pipes in. You do not want this song played here.
No. I don't mind playing my regular music here, but I would not play the other one.
Oh, so it's a secret composition or something.
It's more of an experimental genre I've just come up with.
We're still working out the
that
kinks.
sounds absolutely fantastic. I'd love to hear it sometime.
Great, you still gotta work out the kinks.
Yeah, it's still in the developmental stages. But I don't mind playing a regular song for you.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
That sounds great.
At some point, I'm gonna have to get my violin fixed, but it still works.
You could do that here.
Yeah, I will. Maybe I'll trade it up for something new. Who knows? Alright. Give me a second. Tsubaki's like polishing her thing to get ready because it's been a while since she's performed.
Get some sand out of the grooves.
Jacob. That's hilarious. She looks like an angry cheerleader. Okay. Get on task.
Yes, song.
Yep.
Is there are
I got a whole list of songs I've been like collecting from YouTube.
Ooh.
I've done that too. It's
I
great.
hear one, and it's like, oh, that'll be good.
I have an entire Spotify playlist.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, this one's perfect. This will be perfect for that. Though, do know that I mostly watch anime music videos, so share. Copy. I feel this one's appropriate for this place.
Okay.
Okay.
You kind of get to playing and singing along and making music, and
Yep.
those who seem to kind of pay attention to you seem to enjoy it. A couple of them kind of just keep to their food. But you bring up the mood of the establishment, just kind of bringing everything ready for a nice day.
This is nice.
Okay. Yeah, the barkeep kind of comes to you. Yeah. Oh, that's not. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Have you been traveling around here much?
Oh, I'm from all over the place. I've been to many, many lands.
Ooh. We don't get many people from across the seas here.
Yes, I've kind of noticed that. It's quite interesting, this place and the way things are done. I meant the land here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, no, it's our own little corner of the world. We have it all to ourselves. Mages of the city don't seem to bother us that much. Just kind of do what needs to be done. Everyone gets along well here.
There's usually a lot more fighting around my neck of the woods.
I mean, if you're looking for fighting and such, we do have a small sparring pit out back. So a couple people come in once in a while and put some
I think
bets
we'd
down.
rather not.
I'm a player, not a fighter. At least not. Well, I mean, some circumstances, if the occasion calls for it.
Okay.
Though I do like tinkering a little bit, just a bit. I got some smithing blood in me.
Oh. What kind of things have you been making?
I normally just make things for my costumes, mostly. Sadly, I've misplaced my luggage since I first banded together with my friends here. I do not know where my entire inventory, because I used to have a whole bag of holding full of stuff. Just don't know where it's gone.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, I was also a master of disguise. Oh, that was like something I was really good at. I had costume for all the occasions. Alas, I will find it eventually.
Oh, of course, yeah. I haven't seen anything like that coming through here, so
That's alright.
I don't think I've ever seen you in town before, but even if
I was here briefly a while back, I think, but not anymore. Just a little bit.
Well, we're happy to have you back then.
Thank you.
Can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
Do you know where this where this uh set of sky might be? Or is there, I guess, any astronomers near here by chance?
Astronomers. I mean, I don't think. There. Let's see. I mean, we've got a couple people who might have taken some classes and such and eventually retired here, but I don't know if we have any like full blown astronomers. I know there's a couple mages up north who probably be fit with some of that stuff, but I'm sure I could probably find your way to a telescope around town if need be.
Fair enough. I'm good for now. I was just hoping to get a location out of map of the stars. I've picked up a while back in my travels, and the sky seems nice, and I was hoping I could possibly go wherever it is these would be.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think we can probably do something about that. It seems like it'll probably be a clear night tonight.
Fair enough. I take out the map I copied from the wizard.
Okay.
Like all the way back in I think session 2.
Yep,
Whenever I
I
was
know
doing.
exactly the one you're talking about.
All right. Do any of these constellations look familiar to you as far as where their angles are?
Hang on a second, I need to roll some dice.
Dice roll.
That's a natural 20.
Whoa! You must know a lot. Or are you not
There
gonna
might be
tell us
one person
anything?
who's went to an astronomy class here in town. Oh wait, that's me.
Hang on a second. I need to figure out how this guy's going to respond. Just a quick second.
All right. Take your time.
Curious.
Little kitten, why are you meowing?
Oh, there's a cat in here too?
Are the cat and
yes.
dog friends?
They're keeping to opposite sides of the bar.
They look at each other with suspicion.
I send out Aristotle to go next to the cat on the opposite side of the bar.
Who is a cat? And Aristotle's a cat right now.
Cat kind of swats
cat...
at it a couple times, trying to figure out what the small little saucer walking towards it is.
The cat's name is Shady.
Oh no, Aristotle is a cat right now.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I forgot that. I thought it was a crab.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Aristotle hasn't been a crab for a hot second.
Yes, the cat will socialize with the cat.
Nice. Aristotle is going to make the first move by laying on his back, exposing belly.
Oh.
That means you are giving dominance to the other cat. You realize that, right?
Yeah, it's also a sign of just like, hey, do you want to play? As it's fine.
I'm just
Cat
gonna
will
go
lick the
over.
back of its paw and kind of scratch at its nose, looking at Aristotle.
I'm just gonna walk over, dangling my little wooden mouse by the tail.
Okay. As soon as you bring out the mouse, the cat's attention immediately laser focuses on you.
Aristotle's as well.
I'm like shaking it in front of them. I want them.
You know that cat thing where their head just, follows everything you're doing?
Yep. As the barkeep kind of takes some time looking through the map here, and eventually it's like, I think I've seen some of this on... I've seen patterns similar to this. He looks up and around the room, like to each and every person, kind of seeming if they're paying attention. There's been a guard who kind of came through here a couple nights ago, and they had this marking in and across their spell book. I was just kind of working as a server that night, and they were taking notes of things. I think they might have moved on, but it's pretty close to what you've got there.
Interesting. Did they happen to mention where they're from or where they are going?
They didn't say where they were going, but it said they'd been traveling eastward from Ecolith, taking the main road from there.
All right.
Thank you so much. I've just been wondering where I could possibly find more things like this. Apparently, Wizard likes the stars as much as I did.
Yeah, kind of strange guy.
Any notable features or?
Long black robes with a bit of a red, like a deep red leather belt over top everything.
Yep. Okay. Noted.
Completely bald, but younger. Younger individual. Had like a kind of like a almost. You know how a chain link fence, or not fence, like an actual chain, but it was, they had a chain around their left arm, but it was made completely out of rope and cord. It was woven, but designed to look like a chain. I can't see how that would be practical in any sense, but this guy had it. Yeah, no, they spoke incredibly quietly, just kept their nose buried in their book.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for the information. Here, and I toss another silver.
Oh, happy to help.
Perhaps my journey will now lead me east by chance.
Well, looks like it's gonna be pretty good weather for a journey that way. Main storm system kind of passed through here. Bit of a hot spell, but that went more south than anything with the wind, and it's just kind of evened out. So yeah, no, you should be pretty good if you're heading eastward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Happy to. Yeah, no, this is.
And also thank you for the delicious oatmeal. I returned the bowl and spoon, and I give them a nod before continuing off to sitting back down with Zagra. And I don't know if Subaki's done with her song yet.
Yeah, family special recipe. Gotta keep that one, tucked away in our family's books.
Wonderful.
Everyone seems to like it pretty much.
Heck yeah, good to know. I'll have to come back to give it another taste while I'm going through the area.
Okay. Yep. Okay, you are able to then go ahead and return.
All right.
Meet with the rest of them. Who are muted.
They are both muted indeed.
Yep. What up?
So what did you learn? I'm sorry, I inhaled Taki dust and needed a moment.
That is more than reasonable.
Essentially, so remember at session, I think it was 3, where Aristotle, as a crab, discovered a map that someone was making in where we were trapped.
Oh. Yeah.
I showed that
Mhm.
map to the bartender, who said there was a wizard with the same sort of star constellation on their spell book, that they were headed east from Ecolith. Ecolith? Is that how you say it?
Echolith?
Yeah,
Ecolith.
that's
Sorry.
where at least they were saying it was their last major stop.
Yes.
They said they'd taken some of the major roads before that.
So, assuming they continue in a straight trajectory, they might be on their way to Arungar or possibly Undercroft.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Really quick, Andrew. This last thing I'm going to say,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I want to give other people a chance to talk to, but over the course of like the next day or so, I want to decorate my spell book with
Okay.
the similar star constellation.
Okay, you are absolutely able to do that.
All
What
right.
kind of
Bedazzle
things
it.
are you going to be using to? Is it going to be just kind of like standard ink? Or are you going to be like inlaying different metal bits? Kind of doing
I'll ask the
leather
bartender.
pressing?
What was the spellbook decorated with to make this constellation map?
I mean, I never saw the covers. It was just kind of printed on the inside, but even then
Oh,
it
on the
was
inside.
yeah,
Like the okay.
like drawings.
Got it. Okay, my bad. I misread that.
It's okay. Um,
I will not be doing that then.
there were
I mean, you could
different
still decorate
colors
the
to
cover.
the. He would still talk. He would mention like there were different colors to it. Like a couple of these parts here were a little bit more red. A couple of these ones were blue. This line here was in gold. Actually, it was nice. It was pretty reflective in the candlelight.
I'm going to mark, especially where he mentioned, because he seems like he had the best memory of it, the gold line,
Okay.
and I'm going to mark it similar onto the map that we have.
Um. Okay. The main gold line that he indicates is basically the structured piece. It's lots of 90-degree angles, lots of like if there was a like if this is a map, this is the route that someone would take on it.
Yes. Does the map line up to any part of um, Valon?
No. It
Got
does. It specifically does not.
Understood. Just thought I'd make sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's all the questions I have for Barkeep. I'm gonna do cats. More about cats.
Yeah. Cats.
Well,
Shall we move on?
Sure.
I don't know.
We still gotta look for my people.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking of next, actually. It's like, you want to maybe, like, walk around town and see what they got, and maybe we'll stumble into somebody?
Yes, let's do that.
Alright.
All right. You are able to find like some very general stores. Some there is the other tavern here, the Whistled Way.
Nope.
As you're making your way, it's sort of everything is on one major street, and then there are smaller residential areas that kind of branch off past that. But it's very much designed sort of like an old western town, or like a spaghetti western kind of thing, where there's like Main Street, and anything that you want is on Main Street, just at different ends, different sides. There's areas for post offices. There's some stables. There are some kind of like mom and pop shops. There is a small alchemist shop, but it seems to be like it doesn't get a lot of traffic or a lot of use. General store, like it is a small, self-sufficient town.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool.
Where are we headed to right now?
We're just wandering around looking at things and for people.
Yep.
Fair. Like, I guess this can happen like in canon, but like,
You know what?
what is
I
our
never
next move?
did look at that sword we took from the wizard's tower.
The summer.
If that's not the most D&D freaking sentence I've ever heard.
I mean, if you want to while we're walking around.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if yeah, I'll take it out and I'll just kind of give it a couple glances, you know.
Did I put it in the chat? No, it does not look
Nope.
like I did. Because it does have some magic abilities.
I knew that. That's why I took it.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the silver swords, it was the only one made of gold. And gold just speaks to my heart so much.
So where is our next stop after here?
We'll have to see what my people have to say about that.
Is fair? If possible, I would like to plan a trip to Arungar.
What do I know about Arungar?
Arungar is it is essentially kind of the capital city, but it functions predominantly independently. It is high class, high society. It is where a conclave of mages operate and reside in. Like, this is a full-blown mage city.
What are its major imports and exports?
Okay, go ahead and roll me a history check for that.
Gotcha.
So is it fair to say Stagra might think of it as a Fey court?
It
Or
is not
Compare it. I mean, it's definitely not a Fey court, but could she make that comparison?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
That is a 21 for history.
21 for history. Defense. Their primary business is... This is a city where... I'm just trying to think of the right way to put it. This city is like a Hollywood almost. Like, it is where all of the people that people look up to live. If you want to be someone, you can make it here, and you can be training with like the literal high mages of society. And as such, from that, there is a high power balance where this is a city where lots of information comes in, and arcane users will go out and take quests. They will go on and be diplomats. They will go forth and work on whatever needs to be done, but it's a city where you can hire a mage at any street corner, and if you want to go for the biggest and the best, you provide the coin and you can get it.
Right. So
Heck yeah.
it's very much like their major like export would be just like manpower and like just the fact that they have wizards, right?
Yes, like their big claim to fame is they have a group of wizards known as the Circle of Eight.
And like, are they
Ooh,
do they basically
fancy.
import every other like basic good like wood and stuff like that?
Everything is completely imported, and they're able to get away with that because they have money and information and power and prestige that just lives there.
Fascinating.
And so
Okay,
people will come there and they will... It's almost like a tourist destination in a way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so things there are usually a bit more expensive.
Totally fair.
Fun.
But you can probably get a lot more stuff as well.
You can find anything.
I assume it's pretty much almost the exact opposite of Alig.
Yeah.
Alig.
Yeah, it's
Because it's like very sparse compared to like everything all at
Mhm.
once, everywhere.
yeah. Arungar is it is a city of decadence.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. After we're done here, Aaron, if we can, Arungar sounds great.
Yeah.
Some talk. Does our little ragtag, does our little group have a name yet?
I don't think so.
I have an official title for myself, but would you like me to come up with a name for our group?
Well, I think it could be a group effort, but I mean,
That
if you
would be
really want
fine
to name
too.
it,
No, I'm good with the negotiations.
something that explains a little bit of all of us.
Zagra, go ahead and make me an investigation check, just generally as you're kind of out and about on town.
Cool. Okay. 15?
15. Gotcha. Thank you. I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
What about Karasasu?
What's that mean?
It's
Like
just the first part of all of our names.
Oh.
in order.
No, I feel like we need something that embodies us as a, you know. I can't think of anything right now, but
All right. What is our core values?
Um.
Well,
Do we have core values?
I don't know. We were just kind of
I'm
thrown
sure we
together.
all have our own, but any that overlap?
I have a fascination with magic and learning magic.
Performing is my life. Though I do have a healthy curiosity towards magic. I mean, heck, I'm a bard.
What about you, Zace?
Zace gives an answer. No,
It
he is
cannot be perceived by your feeble minds.
Zace is a scholar, a traveling scholar. He is a researcher. He is. He would probably describe himself as, and Star. I'm so sorry if I get this wrong. Just kind of going off of a lot of what you said. He kind of describes himself as a bit more of a quiet type who is looking to understand nature and explore the natural world. Comes from a very small nomadic people who they have a deep connection with a deific, or at least a very powerful figure named Azim, who disappeared. And Zace's personal quest is to try and figure out what happened, and if nothing else, bring them home.
All right.
So he'll
okay.
translate that information in a way that is Zace's.
Magic, nature, entertainment. What about you, Zagra?
I suppose. Defense? Against any weird things that dare threaten the worlds, the realms.
Very heroic goal. Okay. So magic, uh, nature, hero, song, or I guess just general entertainment. Huh. We don't really have a lot in common, do we?
We really don't.
Huh. Then what if we call ourselves the Uncommon?
mean, we kind of got lucky. We all ended up same place, same time. Just made it work.
You call that lucky?
Not lucky per se, but it was coincidence. Guiding, like, different paths guided together, and it.
How about
After
Manifold?
everything we've seen, I think we're better together than we are apart. Wouldn't have found each other.
How about the name Manifold? It's many different interlocking things working together.
We'll put a pin in that and continue thinking.
Okay.
This is gonna be the rest of the episode.
Yeah, just what's the group name?
Yeah.
The group doesn't need a name.
Fair enough.
It is useful if someone is asking for us, or if we decide to take a job instead of saying, "Oh, both Zagra, Ketch, Subaki, just everyone just accepted, like single. It might be easier to, just think of something to call our group, especially if we're gonna continue working together."
It's about this time that as you're just kind of wandering around the main town, you see just a couple people passing by, some in a little bit heavier blue garb and armor. You'd recognize these as some of the lancers who had kind of taken up residence in here. It's providing a sort of security, but not necessarily wanted or needed, but still doing the job. And then you see someone else who's kind of moving in and out of shops, out of the alchemist shop particularly. Their hair is kind of braided very closely to their scalp. They have a kind of cream-colored robe that they immediately kind of pull over their head, and then begin kind of making their way out of town. Zagra, with a 15, you would notice that they have a sort of silver band around their head with a green stone on it. Then there's just like a couple other people who are just coming and going out of different areas. Like there is a small, to call it a library would be generous, but it's more just a collection of books that people can check in and out, and a couple people coming in around there looking up and down some different shelves, and then making their way back towards more residential areas. It is like as the morning continues, there seems to be a little bit more activity just coming and going as people go about their daily and their regular lives.
See that person that just came out of the shop over there?
Yeah.
I think that's my guy.
One of your guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Hello? Now, what do you think about atypical as a name?
I was thinking the open-ended circle.
We say as we're following Zagra.
Just brainstorming continuing.
Yeah.
Would you like to approach them as they're just kind of making their way out of town?
I was gonna totally.
I think just follow for now.
Okay.
Because we don't know for sure.
That's completely fair.
Just follow him out of town.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check, Zagra, and anyone who would want to keep closer.
Sure, I'll try it. I have disadvantage on this, but I'll try it. That's a nat 1. I don't even need a second roll.
If it helps, I'm not necessarily trying to hide.
But
What are we doing? Are we being stealthy?
If you're
Andrew
gonna,
said roll stealth.
if you're going to be like super close following and like tailing them.
You should definitely let me do that one. Should we all do it or do just?
If you're gonna hang back and just kind of like try and blend in, it's a much lower DC. But
That's
like if
what
you're gonna,
I'm trying to do.
okay,
that in like total honesty, that's what I was trying to do as well. But I think I still somehow fail that.
24.
24. Okay, that's good.
I got a 17.
17. That's not bad. Okay. As you are kind of making your way, closely following Zagra's lead.
Ooh, what about fate? I say loudly.
Ketch, go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
I want to kick him in the shin.
I might as if my dice say I didn't do well, I might as well not. You know. Dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
That's a 5.
Oh boy.
Oh.
You are all kinds of into it today.
Okay. You see, everyone else except seemingly Ketch, whose head is kind of in the clouds, thinking about group names and such. There is a halfling who kind of runs up in your general direction, and Ketch just, for one, you just kind of like step right into their personal space, and then just kind of start tripping over them, and it just becomes like a little bit of a, what's going on here?
Oh, sorry. I was not looking where I was going. I apologize.
Oh, whoa! Oh, you're okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. Hang on here. They kind of quickly begin picking up different pieces of paper that got scattered around.
I help pick pieces of paper up
They
before
are
they
letters in envelopes. They had
alright.
them kind of tied together with twine and such, and that loose knot has come undone, and that they are scattered.
I am still following the guy.
You are Zagra is tailing. Okay.
I'm gonna stay behind to help pick these up. And then when we all do, I'm gonna like take the twine with the knot and say, "Oh, here, let me fix that." And I'm gonna cast mending on the twine, like where it snapped or where it broke off,
Okay.
and just put them all back together.
Okay. It is a package of probably about 6 or 7 letters. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right.
Or are you trying to pry into any of this information, or?
I wasn't really looking. Like I wasn't like specifically looking like, oh, what's this name? What's this name? It's more like, oh, I kind of want to get this done with so I can get back to the party.
Gotcha.
If you want, my passive perception
Sure.
is 12.
12. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, no, you are able to get this all back together, and then the individual sees the rest of the group kind of wandering off, and he's like, are you with them, or?
Yes. Sorry. I wish I could help more, but here, and I mend real quick and like, okay, got to go. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. All. Okay. And
I'm running
It's
off.
already gone.
I'm speed walking.
Okay.
Long legs, you'll make it.
That guy's totally not important.
Okay, you begin kind of making your way, following, being close, sneaky, careful.
Where is he going?
Like,
are we out of town by now?
Yeah, you are heading out of town, and they eventually seem to kind of look back around, just kind of do a quick 360 look, and then kind of begin heading down an unwalked path, an unbeaten path towards forest. A little bit northwards, but a little bit northwesternwards. Sorry, northeasternwards. My directions are, yeah, that direction. I'll put a little marker around where the area that they're heading is.
Camille's in the back. Okay.
They are going to right about in that direction. towards
Okay.
that dot.
Keep going. Tsubaki, I know you're still with me, but has Ketch caught up?
Ketch has caught up, but he is much more noticeable and kind of a little bit out of breath, a little bit.
Sorry, I was helping pick up letters.
Pick up letters?
Letters.
Okay, let's just keep going.
Okay. The individual just kind of begins making a little bit of a quicker pace.
Where is he going?
Who knows? No, it's okay, guys.
Eventually, they enter the forest and kind of begin making their own way. There is no distinguished path.
What the hell?
Is that someone you were looking for, or was
I think it might be one of my guys.
I hope
Like-
it's one of your people.
I
this-
hope it's one of my guys at this point, but even if it's not, at this rate, I'm curious to know what he's up to.
Well, I mean, if it is one of your people, is that like friendly terms or bad terms?
Very friendly terms.
All right. Why didn't we get their attention then?
Because I don't know for sure.
Oh, I mean, we could always ask.
Which brings up the point if they're not.
Well, if they're not, we
trying-
say sorry, we mistook you, and go the other way.
We're trying to keep our presence on the down low. I don't really want to be asking people if we don't have to.
Fair. All right.
We're
well,
having this conversation as we creep through the forest.
I figured. Sorry, forgot to clear this battle map out.
Just following.
Oh, a battle map. That's good.
Oh, that's no.
I mean, at this rate, battle map just can mean any pretty thing we put up here. That's what I use them for.
Yep. There is a gray square in the corner that looks like it should be able to go away, but it's not.
Chompers.
Who the hell is Chompers?
I did not realize I could use like custom things in other.
Oh, yeah,
Place-
no,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can. Like,
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Chompers is from our other campaign.
Okay, you know what? I guess that gray square is just gonna be there now.
it's
It's not a
Is
thing.
it like? Is it locked or something?
It's not letting me do anything to
I-
it.
it must
might
be
just
part of the map,
Yeah. That's
like a
frustrating.
watermark.
That's
Oh
really-
yeah, it's definitely part of the map because as you zoom in, it also gets fractaled, like the map around it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, well. Cool.
Put it off to the corner and stop looking at it.
Well, it's already in the corner, so.
And I still can't stop looking at it.
Oh my gosh.
Where are we?
That's what I was going to pull the tokens for.
I'm like,
Individual tokens instead of the group token.
Me.
we made it!
Yay!
We're following this guy in the woods. Catch,
It's
not
fine.
so silently.
Why is that token there? Yeah, Zagro was taking points, let's work with that. And of course, now I see a lot more invisible tokens that need to be cleared off here. I'm sorry, I thought I had this all reasonably done. And
There
yes,
is a clear
not.
button.
Well, okay.
There's also a selection tool. You
Well,
can,
now
like-
it's done manually and it's fine.
All right.
It's gonna happen.
You know
Okay.
what? I understand you. I have been there. Sometimes it just has to be worse before it's better.
Okay, what do we see as we continue tailing this guy through the woods?
Okay. They
I see
eventually.
trees and rocks.
And red roses too.
I didn't say that, but
Wait to make sure I'm not gonna put more in the bowl before she. Well, she sniffs it too. Yeah, it takes her a little while. I know that she sniffs.
They eventually make their way behind a rock, and you lose them.
They still behind that rock? Huh. Hello?
I can hear you.
As soon as
Okay.
as soon as they kind of move out of your eyesight, they are gone.
Even when I check behind a rock?
Yep. Yeah, it's this one here.
I suppose I'd like to start looking around the general area.
I'm gonna summon Aristotle to go forward and see if Aristotle can find anything.
I'll look around this area for anything.
I need to roll some checks for them, see what they're thinking and doing.
What should I roll?
Oh no, this is for them.
Okay.
Sorry. It's not bad.
I've attached Summer's Dance along
Okay.
with the rest of my weapons.
Gotcha.
I'm like, might as well see if I can get some use out of this.
Is it okay if I use this as Aristotle?
I don't see anything. Oh, the compass? Sure.
Yeah, okay. I'll make it a bit smaller. Because it's a kitty cat. And Aristotle is like hopping on the rock right here, like looking forward. Specifically, I want Aristotle to see what they can hear and smell.
You like it, you know it. Go for it, Mila.
Hear and smell. Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right. Sorry, give me a second. I didn't have the stats pulled up. That's my own bad. Perception, you said?
Yep.
All right. Heck yeah. Kitty cat's really good at that. Heck yeah, kitty cat's really good at that. 17.
Okay.
Oh, does this rely on smell as well?
No.
Okay. Apparently cats have something called keen
Can I
smell.
smell them?
Advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Your cat, its ears kind of prick up for a second as it hears a slight whooshing noise.
From which direction?
Yeah.
Kind of back towards the group.
I look behind me.
I look in that direction.
Okay.
Aristotle's gonna follow the noise wherever it is.
Not due till 11,
Okay.
so I'll start it at like 9.
And you see two kind of grayish orbs just kind of begin to come out of the brush and kind of begin to circle around where you guys are.
I was distracting.
I do not know if that is good or bad or. I whisper over to Tsubaki. Does this mean anything to you?
Tell me, what am I looking at again?
These two
gray
orbs
orbs
that are circling you.
They just came out of the brush.
Mm-hmm.
Is this any kind of magic that I would know of? Or
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Is it anything I didn't know of?
I got a 15.
This is not magic that you are familiar with.
All right.
Is it magic I'm familiar with?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Is it something I'm familiar with?
Yes.
Oh!
I got a 7. I don't seem to think I know what this is.
Yeah, you know.
Can Aristotle jump and like sort of paw at it?
Okay. With that, you see the orb begin to almost shift its focus directly towards, and you see that it is just covered in like kind of like these dark. It's almost like a Damascus steel pattern all around it, but it's just an orb that,
Interesting.
and where the deeper, darker parts are, it's just slightly inset a little bit.
Ooh.
And if Aristotle, you said Aristotle's going to paw at it?
Yes.
Okay. It does not react.
Does it move, or does it like? Does Aristotle like physically able to touch it?
Yes. Yeah, it is a physical object.
All right.
Something else I'm going to tell you.
Well then, is it still just circling?
Yep. They're just kind of moving around the rest of you.
I look at Zagra.
Zagra, you hear whispered into your ear.
Do you understand me?
Who are these people? Why do you bring them here?
No drinking out of the carton, that's correct.
They are allies I met when I was in a tough position.
Are they trustworthy?
Yes.
Who are you to say that? What do they have on you? What do they know of you?
Not too much. Really? Now that I think about it. There's a lot that they don't know.
Are they willing to learn?
Yes.
Okay. Good. You see, as the individual, you feel first their hand come onto your shoulder, and then eventually the orbs begin to just immediately move straight back towards them, as a creature who was formerly invisible makes themselves known.
Aristotle's gonna slowly like
Hello.
sort of pace around them.
Do I recognize them?
Yep, they are
Ah.
one of the people from your creche. They just were being incredibly cautious about the individuals tailing them.
Understandable.
Especially with how many of the swords we found in that wizard's tower.
Yeah. You see the orbs eventually just kind of return to a small leather bag that they carry on their side. And as far as like any disguise or visage, they immediately drop it, and the individual is slightly green-skinned. You see darker brown and yellow kind of colorations across their face. Long pointed ears. Their nose is subtle. It is it is much flatter. It's kind of closer to their face. They are about as tall as Zagra, maybe a little taller, but not much. They wear kind of dark leathers, and they have that one kind of tan cloak kind of over everything, but you see embedded into them small little golden circlets with gems on it, decorated out as though this is a little bit more of a formal wear. but not enough to really raise suspicions. It could be simple clerical garb.
Hello again.
It's good to see you. Sorry, I need to quickly change maps for just a half a second.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Moving back now. I just needed to double check something. And now I lost the map. There we go. I'll go ahead.
Aristotle's gonna do the cat thing in between his feet.
Okay.
I also no longer have a disguise on, by the way.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
She will extend a hand to you and just kind of sort of like a secret handshake, just kind of glad to see you again. Yeah.
I'll participate in it.
Yeah. Kind of gesture over towards in the direction that she was heading, and leading you towards where they have set up camp.
Ah, lovely. I was wondering where the others were.
Yeah.
Yay!
It takes about 15 minutes to a half an hour to get to where they have been, but it is a very well disguised camp, as Zagra would be proud of this sort of thing. Like, they have concealed themselves up within the trees. There are hammocks that are all over the place, clasped to different branches and obscured by leaves. There is a small clearing where they have a campfire, but it is a very standard campfire, just a small spit over it where they have some meat going.
Yeah. Now this is more like it.
There is a small cave off to the side, where you can kind of see some large animals just staying out of the limelight. But it is a very comfortable environment. Like, it is a very well set up camp. They have boxes hanging all over the place with different equipment and garb, but in such a way that it can be like quickly pulled up back to the tree, so it just disappears into the surroundings if need be.
Nice. This is so much more like it.
It is. Like, when it is all open, it is its own small little community of 12 to 15 people, roughly at a given time. Like, they will have patrols coming out and going around, usually moving from treetop to treetop, just keeping guard, keeping attention. And then if they hear the word, it's as though the only thing that was ever there was the fire. Just like someone forgot to put it out. But as you approach with Zvali, there is no cause for alarm. There is no fear. Everyone's just kind of taking stock, taking watch. It is casual, as Ketch and Tsubaki and Zace and Mari kind of come around following a little bit behind, but within step. There is a little bit of hesitation, but acceptance and understanding, and if she is willing to bring you all there and you have Zagra with you, there is no immediate hostility.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of suspicion, but
cautionary.
Right.
I get it.
Nothing that wouldn't be expected or out of the ordinary.
Not outright hostility.
Mm-hmm. But one of them, Zagra, you recognize everyone there. Like, disguises are all down. They're just kind of taking it easy and enjoying life.
Nice.
Yeah, at ease. I have the name somewhere, and I am doing a very bad job at finding it. But it is the one you sent the message to, the commander of sorts, and yeah, they kind of make their way up from where the cavern area is, and you see that they have this. It sort of looks a little bit like a hammerhead shark head, but it is the bony structure into that has been kind of turned into a carapace that they wear over their head, into it as though a helmet of sorts. And the spine of it just kind of rolls down their back as almost like a tail.
Okay.
And they have each of the areas just kind of like inlaid with different gems and such. But they will kind of wave over to you, happy to see you, and kind of move forward.
I'll meet him.
They will hurry up, and it sort of ends up with an embrace. Like they just come forward and kind of give you this short, brief, but tight hug.
Yeah.
Happy to see you. It's been wonderful. Glad to see that you're okay. When we got the orb, we were heading on our way here, and it seems you got the message as well.
Yes. Whatever happened to the orb? This is Sarah asking.
You have two of them right now. Zagra has one, and Tsubaki has one. They are still completely functional. You can send a message with them. It's just, no matter how far it goes, it takes 7 days to get there. But yeah, no,
Okay.
it is not single use.
Cool, that's really good to know.
It is just it is snail mail. It is just direct snail mail. And even then, it's kind of fast for this world.
But yes, got the message. Came straight here as soon as I could.
Wonderful. I take it these are some of the ones that you met in that environment.
Yes.
Hello.
There were some others, but they returned to their own lives elsewhere, and some of the others didn't make it.
He will pull out a map that was in kind of a small side satchel of the continent and kind of begin moving some pieces across, like not pieces, but like making different notes on it. So you were here when you went over there.
Where is he pointing?
Towards Alleg. A little bit off, but yeah. So you were here when you went over there.
Where'd I come out?
Yes.
Here. Oh, points at Oakenfell.
Okay.
Or whatever it's called.
Oaken Cross.
Oaken Cross, okay.
Yeah, here. I'll pull up the map since it's not going to be combat.
Here.
Yeah, okay. So you've made your way back here towards Alleg. Good to know. So how did you get out? We've never encountered this. I've never heard of this realm before. I'm rather confused on how you were able to get there and how you were able to get back.
Okay. We managed to get help from the outside. There's this pair of wizards who are sending their apprentice into there to gather materials. We found Well, not when I say we, I mean that entire group, not me
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah.
We found him in a tight place, and he and the other two were able to get us out. However, things happened, and I don't trust any of those three anymore.
The wizards.
Yeah,
Okay.
Not us three.
they
Just make
are
that
now
clear.
in Bone Grove unless they have relocated since
Hmm.
during my travel here.
Okay.
They're called the Wizards of the Black Tower. Is that was that it?
They didn't introduce themselves with a name.
Oh,
But they do have a black tower, and he would pick up immediately on that. Perhaps the Ebony Keep?
I believe that's
They
what they
didn't-
called it. Is that what they called it?
That would
don't remember.
it. It is deliberately confusing, but the Ebony Keep is something else. They have a black portable tower that they bring places, but the Ebony Keep is what Zagra has the salt shaker of. It is sort of a very thin bone-like spire with a sort of lighthouse-like structure at the top. That
In that case, no. This was a different tower.
But yes, it is deliberately confusing, and that is partly by design.
If you'd like, I can look like all three of them real fast.
Okay. Does not recognize. Yeah, no, he does not recognize any of them.
Okay, just checking. Back to self.
Okay. So you said that these individuals moved from Oakencross to Bone Grove.
Yes.
Yes.
And you believe that that's where they are now?
Yes.
Okay. That is good to know. He marks that on the map, right?
Also, another thing about Bone Grove.
Yes.
Perhaps I should have mentioned this first. I'm just gonna be honest.
The brains?
They've been taken over by intellect devourers.
He freezes.
Entire town's dead. Entire town is dead.
In confusion and just kind of a, what did you just say?
The entire town.
On top of that,
They attempted to intellect devour them, but it didn't work. I think something about their biology, I think, is different. They had like some silver associations, and I think that interfered with the intellect devour process. But still.
Yeah. Now on top of that, we were chased by a dragon out of Oakencross. Don't go there either. Why is it that everywhere we go, we can't return?
That is...
Oh my god, I know the name of our group. It's the Warriors of No Return.
Ooh, what about just no return?
No, it's the Warriors of No Return. It wouldn't be the same.
But I don't consider myself a warrior so much.
Put a star next to that one on the list and start making spin-offs of that.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
Dragon.
Bone Grove is not a very good place to be right now.
Okay. Were you able to find any Lith? Were they there?
Mind flayers?
Yeah.
No. Did not see any. Just the brains.
Did find a.
That being said, there was also a beholder,
Yeah,
and there was a hole to the Underdark. If I had to guess, perhaps there's.
More.
Perhaps that's where they're coming from. And more.
Yeah. Okay. That is excellent information. Gonna want to have to seal that up. And you said these wizards that are stationed there, you no longer trust them?
Nope.
They.
Not at all.
Should we tell them about the secret armor?
I'm
Armory?
I'm about to, actually.
Okay.
We unintentionally found their closet full of weapons and artifacts from our culture. Like, I'll take out everything I have from that room. Just there's another
an extra sword.
Another soul.
I have 3 of those orb thingies.
She's got 3 of those orb thingies. I have the silver bracer.
That's once you pull out the silver bracer, their face goes just white as a sheet with nervous energy.
I don't know why they've done this. I don't know how they've done this, quite frankly. But yeah, this is not good.
Nope. Even I consider this a conundrum.
Did you take? Oh yeah, there's only one of the bracers in there.
Only 1 bracers.
Right.
We took what we could.
Did it seem like they know what they had?
They seemed like they didn't want us to know what they had.
Andrew, did it seem like they knew what they had?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Because it certainly seems like it to me, but... Insight?
I mean, if you feel suspicious, that's a fair point. Like...
I got a 17, but...
I mean, you are suspicious of it, and that seems to make sense.
I am very suspicious of it. I do think they knew what they had.
Okay.
Alright.
One moment. Do you still have that orb on you, by any chance?
Who, me?
No, he's asking Zagra.
The messenger one?
Yep.
Sure. Here you go.
Okay. He will kind of... here, just give me a moment. And kind of steps away from everyone about 15 feet, heads over towards the fire, and...
Hey, Tsubaki, why don't you write a letter back to send that messenger orb back to your fan?
Oh. Alright.
Just...
I'm gonna go...
Oh, no, that just sounds nice.
Alright, I'm going to go, compose this, this note.
Okay. And you see him just kind of speaking into the orb, and then opens his hand to release it. It seems to kind of go up, and then just fall back into his hand.
That's not good.
Okay. Tries it again. To the same result.
I'm just going to very slowly approach.
Okay. You hear, like, he is speaking quietly and directly to it for a third time, and you see the orb activate, move up a little bit, and then once again just drop back to his hand. And with each one there is like more worry and more concern.
Please
And
tell me you're trying just one person and not a different person each time.
we had a group out in
Where?
roughly, well, they were north of Oakencross. They had set up camp near the channels. They were kind of off on their own, where my pointer is on the map here. He'll point it out. Sort of like in an intersection between Oakencross, Hoffel, and Saiki, and a little
One
bit closer
second.
to Stradinia, like right there.
There you go.
Oh, there. Yeah, yeah, right there around that book. I was trying to contact some of the others
Just
who were in that party.
And they're
It wasn't able to find them. That is troubling. That is very well, because I don't think they knew.
knew what?
Knew where. They were heading around to the 5 towns around them.
Okay.
They told me that they were going to sort of go around. They were going to hit Bone Grove, then Oakencross, Hoffel, cross the straits to Saiki, and then head over to Stradinia. And before
What were they
returning,
doing?
scouting, just collecting information. We didn't hear anything back from them. So it seemed to be more business as usual, nothing interesting to report.
Where were they when you last heard from them? Sungrove.
Oakencross.
Oh.
They had visited there. It didn't seem to be worth much of their time, so they had headed on out.
How many were there?
Scouting teams of 3. I contacted each of the major heads, or tried to.
Just 3?
Well, yeah, 3 major groups heading to different areas. At least one of them would always remain back at camp to defend, keep the birds safe.
Okay.
Yeah, that you know that he wouldn't. He
Right.
would kind of be saying that relatively colloquially. Um.
So I suppose this is Sarah to Andrew. They only had 3 people going around, or 3 groups.
It was a crush of 9, roughly 9. And then they had 3 major scouting parties of 3 each, and
Okay.
so it seemed like 2 of them might have gone to Oakencross, or 1 of them to Bone Grove, and 1 to Oakencross.
Kind of
Just
seems
kind of
like
operating out of.
pretty sure that's about as many swords as that were in that
Yeah.
tower.
How many swords were in that tower?
7. 7 swords,
Plus-
12 orbs.
Yeah.
So almost all the party was
I'd
taken out
say-
at some point.
The numbers are lighting up with what we saw in that tower. Unfortunately.
Why?
You don't
I
know.
don't know. And to be honest, in the moment, I didn't want to stick around to find out.
We
I
left as
don't
fast
blame
as we
you.
could.
But
I don't know
Oh.
why. I'm just as confused as you are regarding that.
just taking a pause just to think deeply and think everything through. We should pay their camp a visit. See maybe if there's another couple who made it out. See if they left any information.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These ones you come with, they saw all of this as well. They were in there. They went
Yes.
to the tower.
I'm the one who found the door.
Okay.
Also, just Sarah checking in. Is Zace still good? Is Zace good to go now?
Yeah.
Intelligence wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zace is completely back to normal.
Okay. Cool.
There was enough time in the journey for us to get to a point where it was hand wavable. Like there has been enough days past that Zace is back to normal. All is good.
Just checking, because if
Yep.
he wasn't, it could help.
Right. Yeah.
Possibly.
They would. You know that for a fact that they would be able to help out and do things. But yeah, no, we are good.
Okay.
It's good.
You want a couple Salisbury steaks? How much?
Would if these ones are, if you're all familiar with kind of that general area, would you be
You
willing
would
to
like
check it
us-
out?
I would definitely
Collect
be willing to
information
check
there
it
and
out.
report back. He will pass the orb back to you.
I would like to check it out. Yes.
Okay. Here, we'll send a couple with you as well, just so you have some backup and everything.
All right.
He will gesture to the woman who brought you to the camp here that you had found in Alig. Zvali, go ahead and get a couple of the birds ready. Just gonna be having these guys getting a quick visit together. Set it with tack for 5. Yes, for 5. Journey of 5. I'm gonna have you head with them, just to take a look through the northernmost camp.
Yes, please.
Okay. And she will kind of bow her head, nod, and immediately head over towards the cave area.
Thank you.
I have written my fan, but I will wait to send it in a more appropriate time.
Okay. It will be probably a little bit until we can get everything ready and have enough supplies for the expedition. Would you be able to head back to town and kind of pick up some extra rations for us?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Anything? We may need cash for that.
Sure. Absolutely. Of course. They will. He will pull a small pouch of 30 silver pieces and pass it to you,
Mine.
Zagra.
You can have it.
Anything in particular you'd like us to pick up?
Just the usual kind of things, just standard trail rations.
All right.
If check and see if the alchemists have got anything. Just in case, might not be a bad idea to have backup, especially if you're going into since you're going into dangerous territory.
Just checking. Does the alchemist know about?
No, and we'd like to keep it that way.
All right, no problem. Just checking.
She's seen a couple adventurers come in and out. They're keeping
That's
her
all she
supplies
needs
a bit
to know.
low. But yeah.
All right, we'll go do that.
Well,
Okay.
we'll bring back our cart and our horse, and we've got stuff in town to bring it back with, so. And you can make use of our whatever we've got.
I'd recommend keeping that stuff here since you'll be heading there by
We're
air.
just gonna. We'll
Go-
just be coming right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you by chance know of any place to get like magics, spell scrolls, or components?
Alec
Yes.
doesn't really have much of a repository of arcane knowledge.
Do you?
Is there? We have a couple mages in our camp. Yes.
Is there any scrolls that any of them might perchance willing to part with? One for just the adventure as a whole, or I can pay some fee that I think we could agree is fair on.
If you'd like to meet with a couple of them, I can arrange that.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
So there is the implied nature that while everyone heads back to Alec, you would stay here on your own with them.
I honestly think it would be wise because every time we leave somewhere and come back, bad things have happened.
That is true.
True.
So
It is unintentional, but it is true.
Now we have
No.
someone staying with the fort to make sure no bad things happen, or to see those bad things happen firsthand.
Mhm.
So yeah, Catch, if you don't mind staying back while we go back to Alec to get supplies.
I would not mind.
Oh. Okay. We can leave Zagra or Zace with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extra security
Yes.
with Mari as well, because there are a couple who are kind of looking around at Mari, kind of poking and prodding, and like, what is this creature? Like they are. There is
Do not
unfamiliarity
mess
with it.
Mari. Do not mess with Mari.
Oh. Yeah. There's confusion and just curiosity. You see someone
I
far
have
away
some theories.
drawing a picture.
Aw.
I have some theories about Mari.
Well, we know some things about Mari.
Oh, yes.
We have a book now.
You do have a
We have a book with all sorts of fun things.
Mhm.
Those books are going to come in handy.
Have you heard of a Tarask?
That's 13. I've heard rumors that large creatures, more just bedtime stories.
It's
mostly.
fair.
The bedtime story came back with us.
Curious. Interesting. Okay.
At least this little critter is supposed to be growing really fast. In fact, a quick question: just on like the few days, have I noticed any sizable growth,
No.
like or any small natured growth?
No.
Just better at walking, I assume.
Yeah, like,
Better motor control.
like Maury's pretty much the exact same size when you first found them.
All right.
They still count
good
as
to know.
large. Like, they are a big animal, but they're not like,
They're not growing yet.
yeah, they are not, I'm going to devour this entire city sized.
I'm going to devour this entire horse.
They're not
size.
a titan yet.
Right. They're just enjoying exploring and seeing the world for the first time.
Yeah.
Everything is so new.
But yeah, no, Zace, Ketch, and Mari can definitely stick around back.
Alright, I'll just head back with Tsubaki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably pop on a human-looking disguise as I head out.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But
Actually,
he will...
no. We're going with an elf.
Elf? Gotcha.
Or
I was
may
human when I got
suggest-
mugged.
Yeah.
May I suggest Marobia?
No thanks.
Want to blend in, not stick out.
Blend
What you're
in, not
saying?
stick
You're
out
saying
further.
the hot pink skirt, cheerleading uniform, Marobiba would stick out?
Yes. And
Yes.
I'm a showboating performer. Yes.
Fair, fair.
Okay. But you are... he will if my tongue will work, he will point you in the direction of one of their local sages. Her name is Rennie.
Before we leave, suggestion.
Hmm?
Troop of no return.
I like it better.
Just throwing it out there.
The TNT, Troop of No Return.
Return?
We are the TNT.
You like that?
I kind of like that.
Troop of no mighty return. How about that?
Dude, you're just trying to play with the Ninja Turtle thing.
Oh wait,
there.
no, it'd have to be M first. Dang it, Noah.
TMNT.
Yeah.
TNT's good.
I'm done with TNT.
I'm down with TNT.
What do you think, Zace?
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
I am not going to cast their vote for them.
Oh no, I know. I was just like, Zace is thinking.
Yep. I was looking at word hippos, like words for group. Troop. That would be perfect. Tsubaki makes her exit.
We're the TNT, guys.
You.
You're the bombs.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going into town.
Into
Yeah,
town.
Alec, is it on fire?
TNT is
Because
In
we
going
left
fact,
it?
yes. You left, and so the entire place is burned to the ground.
Damn
Man, we are really like the squad that like you don't even if you want some place to be an utter ruin, just hire us. We'll vacation there for like a week and then come back.
Maybe
And
we
then-
shouldn't head to Arungar.
No, it is perfectly fine.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
cool.
I was just playing along with that. No,
I-
it is functioning as a town should.
He rolls the d20 for disaster scenarios, and There are a few people with colds. We're
It
good.
tipped over from a 1 to a 7.
The 1 is Tarrasque, but the 7 is normal. As usual.
Yeah, 7's actually, it's weird. 7 is the only number where nothing changes.
All right.
Okay.
Anyways, supply
back
shop
to
to buy
town?
rations for the
Yes.
trip.
Okay.
How much will that be?
Total, it will end up running about 20 silver pieces to get everything
Okay.
need be.
Can I also find a shop to repair my fiddle with?
Yes. Go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check. Why did my Wi-Fi sound like everything just went silent? That's why.
I believe that one's a charisma.
Yep.
14.
14. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
you are able to get your instrument fixed for about 9 silver pieces.
All right, not too bad.
I'd also like to pop into the Alchemist real fast.
The Alchemist, absolutely.
What do they got?
They will greet you nicely and warmly. They have they have 2 lesser healing potions on their shelves, as well as a couple of their vials of mismatched things and some like they have like component pouches. It is, once again, as he said, picked over very well.
You guys wouldn't happen to have any scrolls here, would you?
Or any more unusual potions?
That is the one. Scrolls they do not have. Unusual potions.
I'm looking.
Jeez, that is low as well. It's better than a 1, but it is.
Not much.
They have a potion of spider climb. It lasts for 10 minutes.
We'll take that and the 2 healing potions.
Okay. That
How much
total
will that?
is going to run you 35 gold.
For
Hey, you got any
everything,
black
I hope?
blood?
Oh,
Oh
I
god!
have all that
Oh
spider
god, I just
blood.
remembered what that is.
No, they do not have that.
Eddie
Okay, we're not Breaking Bad this episode.
No.
Oh.
How much did you say again? 30?
35 gold for the 2 2d4 plus 2 healing potions and the 1 10-minute potion of spider climb.
35?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take that out of my own pocket. Tsubaki,
Yeah.
would you like the potion of spider climb, or shall I hold on to it?
You can keep that.
Okay, would you like one of the healing potions?
I will take that.
Yeah, again,
I'll stick that
here's
in my
one. I'll
inventory.
hold on to the other.
All right.
And I think that'll be it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just collecting the spell information that Catch can get.
Sweet. Sweet. Sweet.
To the surprise of no one, D&D Beyond is being frustrating.
By the way, Ketch, I have 3 blank books that I got from the Beholder. Would you like those when I get back?
Sure. Are they like actually blank? Have we like looked at these or?
You know, we don't actually know. there could be some illusionary or invisible script going on, but
Might
in
be
any
that
case, you would probably be the best person to find that.
true.
Sure. I'll be down. London moment.
Okay. For catch, this younger Gith girl is going to approach you. She has this spell book. She seems to be almost a little bit more of a druid type. But she will approach you and say that I was told that you were actually looking for some different arcane spells and such. I might be able to help you with some of that if you're interested in maybe trading some.
Yes, it would help with well, one, R and Zagro's next mission, as well as if you want like scroll for scroll, S for S. I have a scroll of blindness, deafness. If you have something that you would want in exchange for.
I don't know. I mean, here I can show you a couple of things I've got.
Okay.
Ooh.
Can I exchange the blindness, deafness for any one of these?
Yeah, I can let you peek through my book here, and I'll teach you a couple things.
All right. Hold on, I
These
have
are
to
some
search
good
some of these spells
ones.
as well.
Chaos Bolt's a
I
great
know
one.
most of these. I don't know Moonbeam. Sharon's down 5-foot radius, 40-foot cylinder. Oh, it's evocation. Okay.
Oh, are you evocation?
Oh, I would love to trade this blindness, deafness for Moonbeam.
Okay.
I just remembered what Moonbeam was, and I really do like Moonbeam is one of my favorite evocations, I think.
What's that one do?
So
I'm looking it up.
oh, okay. Essentially, beam of light, that like does some damage, things like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, that's fun.
is okay. Am I able to trade that, or is this like just for helping with the mission, or
She will trade it with you, yeah.
all right.
So you
Moonbeam.
pass over the scroll of blindness, deafness, and
Yep.
she will kind of point you through a couple of different points in her book about the moonbeam spell. It's what languages do you speak?
I speak common, giant, and orc.
Okay. Her spell book is in none of those languages.
I didn't think it would be.
It's
So
probably in Gith.
so there is translation that happens. So it's passing through a couple of different languages, and so she's teaching you a lot of the different glyphs that kind of go along with it. She hasn't really used this spell that often, so it's still a little bit foreign to her.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
All right, give me one quick second. Arcana, right there. For Arcana, I got a 23.
Okay. As you're going through this, it does start to kind of click. It does start to make sense, and you are able to copy the spell into your book.
Awesome, awesome. Give me one quick second. All right. I guess bee spawn would be handy. I don't think poison and disease would be too terribly useful. But I know
Like very situationally, it would definitely be.
Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and
And Chaos Bolt's a nice one.
ooh, that's really good.
What?
What?
No, I'm sorry. I was rolling a die and doing some math. Don't worry about it right now.
All right, I'm gonna worry about it right now, but I'll just put off that for a little bit. Uh, Chaos Bolt is nice. I'll let it up to you guys. Do we want another attacky spell, or would you rather a utility spell?
I'll like a beast bond. Uh, that does require a beast specifically, so. And those aren't necessarily hard to find, but.
Mari is also not a beast.
Yes.
That's honestly that was the main deciding factor. All right.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
there
she's.
anything I can do to get the Chaos Bolt?
Sure. What kind of things? What would you be interested in trading for that?
Let's see. Do you are you in need of monetary gain right now? I have some gold I might be able to share.
Show her some spells.
Oh, as far as teaching spells, sorry. Okay, honestly in my mind I was still thinking of these all as like spell scrolls they were giving me,
No, this
not
is
teaching.
her going through her spell book and showing you a couple things.
Hmm. I assume, do you know Featherfall?
Hmm. Just a kind of, yep.
Fair.
Quick
Very
moment.
basic.
Um,
But what about? Have you heard of this spell? It is honestly, I still don't fully understand it, but it is called Eyes of Ren.
she has
Uh,
never heard of it.
oh no.
It
Very
is
curious.
a fascinating spell. You might have heard from Zagora that we got, uh, let's say, teleported or plane switched at
She
some
has not
point.
heard this story before and is very curious. Kind of
Yes,
eating it
so
up.
on that other plane, it was completely filled with desert, and the entire land was fractal. And just by going to one edge of the plane, you basically warp to the other side. In it, there was a spell book that's been lost to the ages that I was able to find this one, and I start explaining the spell. It's a divination um, that has a range of touch with an echo shard as a component, and I'm
She
willing
doesn't know
to.
what that is.
Yes, I take out one of my echo shards. This is one of the components. I can give you maybe five for 5 casts of the spell. Um, let's see. It's a creature, and then be with the power to see through echo and manipulate waves to affect probability. And I basically go through like explaining the spell.
Catch, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right. Nat 20, baby.
Dang.
Woo!
That is
Nat
good.
20.
That's what's the total?
Total 22. But yeah.
Okay. Then you probably would have needed a 19 or a 20 to succeed on this.
Dang.
Catch. When you pull out these shards, they are slightly different.
Oh.
Not necessarily like they are still functionally looking very similar, but a couple of the corners have been rounded off. They seem a little cleaner. Like there's been movement almost across the surface and some jagged edges have kind of been smoothed over a little bit. A couple of them have cropped up in different areas. Like they have changed slightly. They're slightly different from when you put them in. Just
Interesting.
the form is different.
Interesting.
Is there anything arcane wise that's different about it? Like, do I know if this will affect the casting of the spell at all?
Nope. It functionally it seems the same, just slightly different.
So it's like, I'll take one of my shards and like maybe try like crushing it a little bit. Like I'll take another rock and like see if the powder has a bit of difference.
Rennie, who is kind of working with you and sees you kind of doing this. What's going on? Is everything?
These, it's very minor, but these look a little bit different from when they were in the other plane. And I'm sorry for getting distracted. But I'm unsure if the arcane pathways seem to still work, so I'm fairly certain it will still work with the spell. However, I'm not sure if this has any effect on like the shard itself being on a different plane, or if this will have different properties. So I just really quick wanted to investigate it. Maybe see if it had any additional effects.
Is it like a magic item of sorts?
Of sorts, yes.
Okay, she's going to eagerly cast Identify. She is not doing this as a ritual, which means I need to do a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
That's a 2. That's a fail.
That's not
Ooh.
okay.
Oh
Catch
crap!
from
NPCs
the
are bound by
sideline,
by the same laws.
Imagine
Yes.
like a sports fan like on a sideline like looking at like their favorite player who just fell on the ground. The catcher goes like, "Ooh!"
Okay, she will do that, and it kind of seems to kind of take her breath as she's doing it. And she kind of extends her hand out towards it, and the stone has a few little areas that glow and respond, but it's weird. It doesn't seem to have any magic effects to it. I can't pull anything from it. You said this is the component for the spell?
Yes, it is. Can I? I'll do it. I'll consume the gem in order to cast Eyes of Ren real quick.
Okay. That is... You... Okay. You watch as the stone just kind of begins to kind of pulse in itself, and then it goes inert. But it seems like you close your eyes one moment, and then the next they just open up with this blue light and energy, and you see around you, similar to how it was in the Echo, different barriers and lines and different fractal patterns that just emanate outward from where you are at all different points. It is as though like the mere like nature of that world is superimposed upon the world here. You see it shifting slightly, moving around, just dynamically living and existing. What level did you cast this at?
Just its base level. I think it's 2, or is it 1?
It is a first level spell that gets different effects when you cast it at higher levels.
Just level 2 or level 1. Sorry.
Okay. So level 1 is it just gets you, I believe, advantage on initiative or something like that. Something very small.
Yes.
Okay.
You touch a creature contribute with power echo. It's probably target of the spell gains advantage on Cronin's proficiency skill check.
Okay, yeah, that tracks. So yeah, no, you see around you. You can kind of reach out. It doesn't react to you. it's just almost like seeing a new layer upon the world, like unhiding the Photoshop filter. And it just kind of pulses and exists, and you just kind of feel yourself drawn to and bound to the fundamental nature of this reality a little bit more. But it is a functional spell. It works. It casts.
All right. Well, it seems like these
I need you to
spells
roll me a
still.
Constitution saving throw.
I already did 13.
13. You're good.
Yes, I did it as soon as I cast the spell.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Eyes of Rain again. I'm really like, would you want to, or before I do, would you want to see what this spell does? I can cast it on you really quick. I just cast it on myself. As you can see, it's not destructive in any way. It gives you a new outlook on life, I think.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
All right. Careful. Just be prepared. It's gonna look like a lot of layers of reality. It's hard to explain here, and I'm just gonna cast it.
Okay. You focus on the second stone, and it goes inert. Go ahead and roll me the save.
Yep. That is. Oh, whoopsies! I didn't do a save. I did a regular. There it is. That's the save. The save is. Oh, that. Okay, cool. 20.
Okay, you're good.
Not natural, but
Yeah,
20.
no. That's fine. You need to beat an 11.
Yeah.
But you cast the spell, and you see her eyes kind of glow blue and have this sort of faceted like nature to them, or at least you see the little bits of lines as she's sort of staring into space, looking around. What? Where did you find this? You said you found it in a journal and such, but like I've never seen. What does? What? And then she looks kind of over towards where you are. Oh. What? Yeah. Why?
I've been trying to figure that out myself.
And her eyes are just fixated on you. Like kind of looking past you, like looking through you. Just staring. What? Did this spell have notes with it?
A few. Although some of the journal is beyond repair right now. It did have some cliff notes of just the making of this spell as well as others. For instance, a spell that you could add shield, sort of a component to any other normal spell. It is fascinating research. Whoever did it is only could be considered a genius, I think, or crazy beyond recognition, I fear. But essentially, you're peering into, I think, different possibilities.
Is this where you were?
What did they say, sorry?
Is this where you were? Where you found it?
It was similar to that, yes.
Just
Although it had some minor differences in
between.
surrounding.
Okay. like to learn a little bit more of this, sure, I'll trade you.
All right. How much would that spell be worth? One chaos bolt, uh, two different spells. Like,
All of them.
it is fairly unique. I'm
Well,
not going to ask for too much and be rude, but whatever you feel would be even.
I'll let you. I'll work with you on the chaos bolt for this.
All right. I feel like the rest of the day is probably going to be just explaining that spell and chaos bolt.
Catch roll insight.
All right. That is a 13.
Okay. Yeah, she seems a little spacey. Just kind of looking around and experiencing things here. And as she's teaching you about the Chaos Bolt spell, she kind of gets a little bit distracted here and there as just nature reacts to, or at least her perception of nature reacts to this spell. It's just distracting. She kind of reaches out at a point and just seemingly off into nothing.
I'm going to lay my hand on her shoulder and just like sort of try farming her back down to reality.
Okay.
Are you okay?
I think so. Eventually the spell's effects will fade from both of you.
After mine fades, I realize it's probably going to be just like a couple more seconds before hers. So I like, okay, ready? And it should be gone around now.
Okay. And yeah, no. Then she looks immediately right to you and she's like, I could see through you a bit.
Yes.
Like a little...
Do you know the many worlds theory?
No.
Or I guess
No,
A.
she wouldn't.
I discovered a fascinating philosophy book in my travels that explained that the world we live in is one of many possibilities. Say you wake up and you have to decide between, okay, will I have tea or coffee? And that morning you decide tea. But because you were faced with that decision, that there is a separate reality where you instead chose coffee. And just because you're only experiencing the tea route doesn't necessarily mean the coffee route isn't still there. It's just not perceived. That is my main theory going on with this spell. It is still under heavy hypothesis, but it is similar to that.
But you were you. There was no
Yes.
other you. It was just... you.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
How many of the shards do you have on you?
I currently have 18 after using 2.
Gotcha.
I
I was
still
gonna
have
give
some
her
too.
5 as well for the spell components.
Gotcha. And you're gonna give her 5?
Yes.
Okay. She
So I will be
seems quizzical
13.
and a little bit curious.
Yeah.
But no, you
Am
can
I
trade
about
the
to turn
spell.
this druid into a wizard?
No.
They're
But you are able to add the spell Chaos Bolt to your book.
Awesome possum. Okay. Success.
Okay. And she will kind of make her way back to her hammock and begin kind of paging through the spells that you taught her. Just kind of, once again, processing everything.
Totally
Little,
understandable.
little bit spaced out.
When faced with infinity,
Mhm.
I mean,
And it's around this point that Zagra and Tsubaki return from their mission, from their shopping.
Yeah. We were successful.
Woohoo! Nice.
yo,
Hello there, Star.
how do you feel about the name TNT?
Give the abbreviation.
At least use the real one.
It's a. But hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Uh,
I feel like a bit better. And Ginger's eating dinner in my room because she can't eat dinner outside because Amber eats her food. So I'm in my room
Aw,
either
how
way.
rude.
So thought I'd hop in and say hi.
Hello.
And
Hi.
Good to see
listen.
you.
Hello.
Hola.
We just got back from gathering supplies.
It's
and
been a shopping trip
A
episode.
Basically.
shopping. I want to know the TNT thing. I come in and
Okay,
it's the first thing I hear.
we came up with a group name. We are the Troop of No Return.
Because every time we go somewhere, we can't go back
But wait,
because
no.
it gets all messed up.
But wait, return is with an R. It would be
I was
TNR.
wondering about
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. Where did the T come from?
That's a good
Yeah.
point. I'm just
Yes.
an idiot.
I just realized.
Just
Honestly, I heard
realized that.
I'm like
TNT.
listening to him like, what? TNT, what?
DNR.
I literally just didn't think I heard return, and I'm like, oh, turn. Yeah, no, T and T, and like.
Troop of no turn. We only walk straight.
I didn't realize that.
The
how
opposite
things
of One
are.
Direction?
we just
Yes.
we just dropped the R altogether. TNT sounds good.
I don't agree. It's not right.
No.
Right now that I heard it, the R will always bother me. And I just googled what TNR is, what it stands for. And there's trap, neuter, and return. It's what they do for cats.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
Well.
Aristotle, how do you like the name?
Oh yeah, the thing they do to stray cats so they'll stop multiplying.
Yes.
Aristotle likes the name.
Well, he's a fey creature. He doesn't have to worry about you.
It's like he doesn't really have a gender. Or they don't have a gender.
We
And
have
even-
2 teams on this physics bowl. AA versus PMS.
Hey, Big Bang Theory! I know that one right away.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one show I do know, it's Big Bang Theory.
Don't know that one.
That's okay.
My mom wouldn't
It's
let us
honestly not that funny of a joke.
watch Big Bang Theory, but now she loves, like, she watches Young Sheldon a lot. I see her watching Young Sheldon. I see. I don't even know what's happening. I just came
Yes.
in, and
So okay, I'll catch you up real fast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
It's
probably
okay.
ruined the flow.
No, you're fine.
It's okay. It's been kind of slow paced anyway. It's all good.
Yeah.
Catch traumatized a druid. Not necessarily traumatized. That's probably a wrong way to put it. But he showed them infinity.
We found my people and told
Oh.
them what's up, and they now want us to go to the camp to see if there's still any survivors from those 3 wizards. Essentially. Or if they found anything. Zagra and Tsubaki just came back from supply shopping. Ketch stayed behind at the camp with Zace, and that's when Ketch taught a Gith druid Infinity.
Okay.
He
And-
traded the spells blindness, deafness, and the eyes of Rin for chaos bolt and moonbeam.
My brain can't even. I'm the druid right now.
They're interested in Mariti.
They have not
But-
seen a creature like him.
Oh yeah, what are your core values?
Wait,
So,
me?
what are Zace's core values?
Yes.
Uh, I need to pull up Jace's character real quick. I've not opened
Andrew,
it
we asked this
forever.
question earlier, and Andrew gave an in-character answer for Zace.
I tried.
It probably is
You
right.
can give it a letter grade when you listen to it later.
I think the overall way I was characterizing was determination and curiosity.
I mean, that sounds about right. I don't even know what a core value means.
Determination, curiosity, love for nature, love
Yeah.
for God.
Yes. Zace is like treat every life with respect, basically.
So we
God,
got life.
Did you guys
music,
ever have a
action.
long rest? My Zace still has
We
17
did.
Yes,
HP.
we're all
Long
rested.
rested.
Yes, long rest is all good.
You're good to go intelligence-wise.
Yep.
That's how old my character sheet is.
Is there anything that you would like to do since little bit time fluid time wise? Is there anything you would have liked to do on the travel both into Alec and then just kind of around town as the group was discussing things?
No, I'm just chilling with my lady as always.
Okay.
Okay.
Mari does enjoy your company.
I like tea.
I ask Ketch's wizard friend, do you know any spells for silence?
I mean, we can.
As I said, I'd be willing to pay for such a spell. I need to adapt it to do something for me.
I'm going to see if our birds are ready to go.
Okay. She will. The spell that she would have for silence would be expeditious retreat. Just so that you can take.
Just retreat.
So
It's
that
just
like you
eyes
can
of
take the
Renegade.
hide action as your main action, and then be able to move swiftly and quickly using move and bonus action.
Okay.
So it's not silence; it's more stealth.
I'm looking for a silence spell that casts silence into an area where it won't affect other people, but I will still be able to hear what I'm doing.
Okay.
Like a soundproof room?
Basically.
Yes.
Ah.
I've discovered I discovered a bit of that other language that I'd been studying, and it's got kind of a musical nature to it. So I discovered it's got 16 symbols with variations that go along with it, and I started arranging them into chords, and all of a sudden Zace
That's Zace.
or no,
Okay.
Catch lost some HP.
Permanently, like from its total.
5.
So we're trying to not do that again.
But I'd like to experiment with that to see if I can restore what I took away.
We could also try just finding the spell silence and putting it on catch. Because that would deafen catch, like...
that, but I also wouldn't want to affect anybody else here in your group of people or as we travel. So if I could cast silence on myself, I'd be able to study it as much as I wanted without hindering anybody else.
I know this. I think I know a spell that would work for that. Yeah.
If I had one more level, I could totally find that spell.
Tiny hut.
Oh,
Leomund's tiny huts. Yeah, that would work.
I was thinking of that too.
Or Mordecai's mansion, but that's a bit much.
That's 7th level.
That could kill.
We just
The
gotta
tiny-
grind out a few levels in the Enchanted Forest, and in about a year's time,
We might make it.
will be good. There's also one for druids that's called like Grotto something.
She does not have that spell. I'll just say it outright. She does not have either of those spells.
Oh, Druid Home is what it's literally called.
Grotto is a much better word for it.
Yes.
The tiny hut seems more to my nature.
Okay.
And I believe, on a side note, I actually think that's actually a druid spell that comes down the line the next couple levels, anyways. But if I could learn it ahead of time, anyways, because I definitely know that spell.
Well, I can promise you that she does not have that spell. She is not high enough level for it.
All right.
She is a very low level magic user. All that said, like she would be familiar with the idea, but she doesn't have it and she doesn't have access to it. As far as Zagra, you can head over towards the cage where Svali is getting the birds ready for tack, and you enter, and yeah.
I have knowledge of the spell. I do not have the spell though.
Correct.
It's in my third levels.
Ooh.
The tiny huts. I've got it. I don't have a spot for it.
Okay, and you are 5th level, so I think you get 3rd levels next level.
Yes.
That sounds right.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's tiny.
But Zagra, as you approach the cave, you see that they have 4 large birds. Like, these are probably 12 feet tall, completely ashen gray with flecks of silver in their coat, almost like moon dust, like small sparkling bits. Each one has 6 eyes on their head and then a large beak, large feathers, and Zvali is getting them ready with a couple different saddles on 2 of them. 2 of them primarily for all of you to be with. And you would be familiar with these birds. It is a primary form of travel for Gith, especially off-world. But they are fast and they are durable.
Okay.
Technically speaking, they would be classified as abyssal phoenixes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
They do have a slight gravitational pull towards them, but it is very minor.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll if she's not quite done, I'll help her prepare.
Okay. They are very receptive to you. They a couple of them like immediately recognize you and kind of nuzzle up to you, put their head in your chest, and
Do they have names?
they do, but I do not have names on me, so since this is also your crush and your backstory, if you have specific names you would like to give them, please feel free.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Are we all writing one or what?
I think 2 per person.
Roughly, yeah. They are getting 2 of these phoenixes ready for the entire group, so there is the 4 of you.
What about something our very oversized pet in?
Wait, is Martimus gotten bigger?
No.
No, she's the same size, but she's still size large.
Yeah.
No,
Mari is still a large creature.
We might have to leave Mari at the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where are we right now?
We can't take Mari on the birds, I don't think.
I'm asking about that right now.
Yeah, Mari would not be able to ride the bird. They might be able to like carry, but that's going to slow them down significantly.
So we may have to leave Mari with our friends here at the cave.
I am not leaving my baby.
Either you we don't know if there's any other way to take her with us.
Where are we going? I'm confused.
Very far to the north.
We're going to find more of.
They want you guys to look over at an area that was
Well,
a
there.
previous Gith camp that quite possibly Azarakas, Rin, and Ivyar butchered. Because they were trying to reach out to them and they were unable to reach them. So it's right over here where this star is. So they're wanting you to fly north from Alec there. Just kind of report
Because
back.
we talked and put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't.
It would be about a 2-day journey there and a 2-day journey back on the birds because they are faster than walking. And
No.
We don't know. We can always. We're leaving our horses and wagons here too, so Mari can guard our stuff.
We don't want to leave my bag.
It'll be all right. I mean, it'll also. Mari won't be in danger if she's here.
Everywhere we go, there's danger.
Exactly.
So you guys are going there with phoenixes, and how long does that take?
Total 4 days round trip plus however much time you spend there.
That means 4 days there and back.
And walking wise would be a lot more, right?
Yes.
Way
Yes.
more.
The whole reason we're preparing the phoenixes is fast. This is time sensitive.
Oh, you guys have to get there soon?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, I should. Can we
It's
put
not
it?
like we're. It's not
Why
like.
did I hop into the chat the wrong time? I should have never came on. I have to do this decision. No. Oh, I'd have to do hard decisions. I mean,
It's not that hard. It's not like we're never
I-
coming back. We have every intention of coming back.
Coming back,
If you-
yes.
If you
We
steal
want
their
to come
birds, they
back.
will hunt you down until the ends of the earth.
And we're not going to do that because we would not mess with Zagra's people like that. We are not that bad.
is there any way I could stay connected to Mari while I'm gone?
You want to give her one of the sending stones?
We don't have sending stones, we have messenger orbs.
Oh.
But
We could send
I
a
do
message?
think if you wanted to go the multi-class Beastmaster, you could have some sort of connection with Mariti.
I don't have a level up. You said, do I know any of the people you're talking about?
Not personally, but they're my people.
They
Any
all
of them
seem to be
good?
generally kind, and as far as the DM says, these are good aligned people. Like
Any
you
of them
don't have
good
anything.
babysitters?
Well, they take care of the birds all the time,
Wait,
so
the bird
I'd say
keeper.
so.
Okay. I will go talk to the bird keeper. I will tell them how to take care of Mari.
Okay.
Should I pay them since they're babysitting big old Mari?
I think that would be nice.
Okay. How much a day would you like to be paid?
I
It's on a
have
month.
an idea if you are not set on leaving Mari.
Yes. What would your idea be? Catch.
So we've kind of done it before, but
The floating
a
disc.
variation of Tinsar's floating disc with
Mari is too
crab.
I
heavy.
knew it.
Oh, with Tinsar's
yeah.
floating disc even?
Yep.
I thought
Dang.
Mari's
Okay.
too big. Yeah.
Mari is too
Right.
heavy, and it's a 3-foot radius
Does-
disc. No, sorry, 3-foot diameter disc. Mari wouldn't be able to keep up, and it would despawn as you move faster past it. Yeah. Unfortunately, Tensor's floating disc is great for getting loot out slowly, but
Does
it's a
enlarge
walking
reduce
change how heavy something is?
Yes.
Yes.
How heavy is Mari right now?
I'd say probably in the neighborhood of probably about 1,500.
Oh God, God.
Mari is heavy.
That is
Mari is
more
a
than I thought.
walking tank.
My big baby.
I could probably get that down to 750, but I think that's still pushing
That's
it.
still pushing it, yeah.
You will not wait.
Mari is a dense little dinosaur.
I'll say.
Yes.
She's a
That's
dense
healthy. Healthy
face.
weight.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I have to leave you here, Mari. I'm going to talk to the person who's taking care of the birds because they probably know most about animals.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the druid be traumatized.
Oh my God, are they
Uh,
not traumatized enough for this?
That's a good
keeping care of the
question.
birds is a communal activity. Everyone kind of takes part and does their share to help out. So no, like they will take care of Mari very well. You can provide the instructions and information needed.
Guys, you got
Don't leave the book. Do not leave that book.
What book?
The book about Mari.
Oh, no, I'm taking that with me. We might come across something else weird and have to identify.
how much payment wise do you guys think would be good?
They won't make us pay. We're doing them a favor.
I'm doing
But
them.
out of the kindness of Zace's heart, he's paying them.
Okay, well,
I mean, Mari still needs to eat. I need to pay
5
for what
gold.
Mari.
5 gold would be a very good price to take care of them for 4 days.
Okay.
Well, it
I'm
would be at
going-
least 8 days, at the very least.
No, it's at least 4.
4
unless-
days round
4
trip
days,
means
yeah.
2 days out, 2 days back.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 4
Okay.
4 days there, 4 days back. Never
Okay.
mind.
I'm going to give them 7 gold. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give them. Do you want handwritten instructions, or will you guys remember this?
They will. They can remember it. Yeah.
Mari eats 3 times a day. Meals are this much. I don't know this too. This much. Don't go over. Mari likes to overeat and will say she's always hungry, but don't listen. She will try.
This sounds about right, actually.
I mean, I'm thinking of a dog.
Mari will look at you sad.
Mari, however, does get treats. When Mari does something good, right, Mari gets treats. Mari also knows how to hunt, so if you guys hunt for your food, Mari will happily come along. Mari does know. Does Mari know how to dig, right?
Mari can dig, yes.
Mari is trained to bury any remains, and Mari is also very sweet and gentle. She likes cuddles. If only, especially the person who will feed her, she will love cuddles from you. She likes little scratches in between her horns. They're the best
We
area.
love to cuddle our Tarasques.
I found it.
You love to cuddle our Tarasques.
And
We love to cuddle our Tarasques.
and yes, that's mainly it. Just please take care of her. Make sure she doesn't get into trouble. And then I'm gonna look at Mari. Don't get into trouble, Mari. Okay? Stay
Don't
safe.
worry, we've got some extra mutton around.
Don't feed her extra. You're already a very big girl, Mari. I'm going to give her a little pat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna give her a little kiss. Love you.
Mari kind of reciprocates and just kind of nuzzles up, and they love Zace.
Bye. You stay safe, okay? I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Don't overeat. I know it. These cats.
Mari gives you those eyes.
If you don't overeat, I'll let you. If you act good, I'll come back and let you get your own hunt, and we can cook it very good that day. We'll have a very yummy dinner. Make barbecue. Treat her with barbecue.
She pretty
This is
much.
adorable.
Mari pretty much eats everything.
Oh no!
I knew you were gonna do it.
Oh no!
I
He
Don't do
did
that
those
to
eyes.
me! Don't do that to me! That my cat already does that. That's why she
Andrew!
eats Ginger's food, because she
Andrew,
gives
we're
my
already
mom
having
those
enough
eyes.
problems getting Zace to leave Mari. Stop it.
Oh,
Okay. I pull
That-
you and say, okay,
okay.
Mari will be in good hands, and if not, we will murder everybody. Okay?
I would be more worried about the opposite, to be honest.
True, but you know what I mean. We've got your back on this.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I don't really mean it. It's just the threat to comfort you.
Okay.
Zachary, I'd never do that to you.
I would prefer if we don't
Appreciate
genocide
it.
people, but if they do hurt children or adorable animals, then yes. But I trust Saga.
Yeah, we're
Okay. I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
I called dibs on naming one of the birds.
okay. Go ahead.
Zagra couldn't figure one
Yeah.
out anyway, so it's good.
Zagra will get you back on bird names anyway. It'll probably be a story reference.
Hell yeah.
What? Me?
I'll get to. I say that I'll get a name on a phoenix later. It'll probably be a story reference. If you want to name one of the birds, that's cool too.
The phoenixes are the birds.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just two.
I mean, there are two, right? So you can name it, and then
They
I
have
can name
4
it.
of them total, but they're willing to let you take 2 out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll
with me.
name them later.
Okay.
Yeah, I still I
My-
wanted to name one, but I haven't thought of a name just yet.
Okay. But with
Or
everything put
two.
together, Zvali will kind of get to leading on one of them and kind of gesture for Zagra to for the other one, and then you two can, then everyone else can kind of get on as you wish.
I'll hop on.
I'll ride with Zagra.
1 8-foot person per bird.
As I said, I'm riding with Zagra. Wait.
Wait, that'll be both me and Catch.
I think
say,
it
wait
would
a
be
I said
better if
1 per bird.
me if like the two smallest people split up with two biggest people.
All right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll go with Catch.
Okay, so we have
You will not
Zagra
sound
and
so
Zace,
disappointed.
and then Subaki and Ketch.
Yes.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so Subaki and Ketch are going to go with Svali then. On the other one. Because they are sending one of their own with you as well for backup and...
Yeah.
You know.
Fair enough.
So does that mean 3 people are on one bird?
Yes.
Okay.
How big are these birds?
I'm very small, so.
They are-
12 foot tall, so 12 foot long when flying. So
They have really large wings. They are very tall birds.
Okay, I was nervous they were
They're
not.
like giant black phoenixes.
Oh,
Ashen gray. Ashen gray.
You know what I mean.
I know
I
what you
knew
mean.
it was around the color scale I was looking
Mhm.
for.
And you, as you sit down, you can kind of feel that they pull you in closer towards them as innately they have a sort of gravitational manipulation. So it seems like it would be very hard to fall off.
Yep.
But
okay.
they will. I need Zagra to make me an animal handling check, as I make one for Zvali.
do I get any sort of boost since I'm familiar with these birds?
You can have it. You can have advantage.
Yay!
Yay!
Nat 20!
Hell yeah!
Nice!
It's fascinating. I got the other end of the spectrum too.
You got a 20 and a 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dang.
you totally, what was it?
The
Smebulacula.
time in the dice scale was good for you. You have been reformed.
Question. I know. What
Yeah.
is all these little dotted lines on the map?
Roads past we
Yeah.
have taken.
You
Okay.
have taken the blue path. The yellow paths are kind of major roads. The pink path there is just where you had traveled when you had entered the Echo and where you came out.
Okay, got it.
Perhaps we should add that to the legend.
That's not a bad idea.
Alright. Alright. We ready to go?
Yes.
With your checks, the birds
Yeah.
will take off and begin flying north at your
Woo!
at your behest.
Let's go.
Woo!
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Anything we notice while flying?
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah, we're going over Oaken Cross, and that's where the dragon is, guys.
Well, it might have moved.
Yeah, we're hoping. Not
Are we all making two?
we
Yeah,
leave when
I'd
the
say
dragon
so.
shows up where we were.
Okay.
Perception.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Are we all perceiving or just you?
You are welcome to if you would like.
I'm a
going-
bit too focused on flying the bird.
15.
15.
Oh.
19.
Oh. 7. I don't have good. I mean, I have bad perception of everything now, like too. So.
Okay. Specifically in looking out for the dragon, none of you see where it would be.
Okay, so
It
are we
seems to have
flying
moved
over the town though?
I'd
Nearby.
say kind of.
Okay. How high up are we?
Can we see if there's anything like did the town get charred? Did it?
Is it still standing? Is Tam still there?
The town is still there. It doesn't seem
Do
charred
we-
or anything. It seems completely normal.
Okay.
Do we
well,
see people?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Ketch is going to think for a moment. Oh, yes. And then out from the side of his back, he is going to throw something off the side of the bird.
Okay.
And this is all that anyone would probably see. As Aristotle has been tossed off the bird momentarily. And I'm going to look through Aristotle's eyes to see
Oh,
what the
gosh.
town looks like and bamf him out before he hits the ground.
Okay.
Jacob, you're terrible.
Yes, I agree.
So, wait.
It's okay. Aristotle is fine.
Cat off the bird, looked through its eyes as it fell, and then bamfed it out of existence before it could die.
Yes. Aristotle's fine with it. Don't worry.
Okay.
He didn't look fine with it.
I don't know how that looked next to the Puss in Boots up there.
I think I heard a scream from that cat.
It's probably your imagination.
You should be thankful Zace didn't
Aristotle-
see that, or else I would jump out after it.
No. It's okay. You don't have to jump.
Okay.
Oh
Catch.
god, don't make it meow.
Go ahead and just roll me a straight wisdom check.
Great wisdom check.
Jacob, we have to
That-
see but if you have any wisdom after that.
All right. Not even perception, just straight wisdom.
Just straight
Uh,
wisdom.
Did I actually roll intelligence? Hold on. Oh no, I didn't roll intelligence. That was okay. 12. 12 wisdom.
12 wisdom.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay. So, you throw Aristotle off of the bird.
Don't.
Zagra? Hang on a second. Let me.
Wait, what about Zagra?
Go ahead and roll me an animal handling check.
Wait, what?
You're distracting my bird!
Oh my god, is the bird gonna go after the...
Can I have
Oh,
advantage on this again?
Sure.
no.
I didn't think of this outcome.
No.
18.
Of course! You're lacking wisdom!
18, okay.
You're lacking wisdom, that's why you did it.
Aristotle will be fine. If the bird goes after Aristotle, I'll just bamf Aristotle then.
Okay.
Did it work out or not?
I
Okay.
rolled an 18.
Catch. You throw Aristotle off of the bird.
I'm looking through Aristotle's eyes right now, ready to bamf.
Yes. Okay, you watch as Aristotle kind of levels himself in the air, as a cat does, kind of getting ready to land on all fours, even though it...
That won't help.
that won't help. But cat is as cat does. Zagra, your bird notices this, and it seems to start being interested in heading down for the flying food, but you are able to right its course and be like, hey, ignore that. Catch, what are you attempting to perceive through Aristotle's eyes as they are falling at terminal velocity from a abyssal phoenix that you are flying near a town where there was a dragon? What are you trying to perceive through their eyes?
Through Aristotle's eyes, I want to see as close as I can, like the town, to notice any irregularities at a closer distance. And specifically, I want to see if the people are moving in a like pattern or if it's random.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me perception with the cat stats.
Yes. Does this rely on smell?
No.
I didn't think it did. That's a 14. 14.
Okay.
My bad. I cannot stop what other people are doing around me.
It's okay.
Okay.
So, Aristotle the cat is plummeting towards the earth. He is craning his neck to keep watch and keep eye on the town of Oakencross. It seems like everything in town is going about normal business. It does not seem to be... You don't seem to pass through any barriers, through any illusions, through anything. There are a couple people who look up and see the two large birds in the sky and kind of point that out to each other and kind of be like, hey, what's that?
No.
Okay, Catch. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw. And this is going to be whether or not about timing to pull Aristotle back. This is just a straight wisdom save. And I'm disconnecting. It seems.
No, this can only get better.
At the end.
Oh my god, now that picture is so cute.
So I slightly disconnected. The last thing I said was, Jacob, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw to be able to bamf Aristotle.
Oh,
You got a 1.
Oh, that was to bamf Aristotle. Yeah, that's a 1.
I think we've lost Aristotle.
No.
Catch?
But okay, hold on.
Just
Counterpoint,
perceiving.
like I'm not like getting Aristotle like up close and personal to like a roof or anything. Like I was planning to bamf Aristotle at least 100 feet above the town.
Right. This is still...
You still got a 1.
I
Yeah.
did get a 1, but counterpoint,
You know, this
I
group doesn't take
feel
animal cruelty well.
Yes.
I feel that I like before any danger would have happened, like I catch would have like been like long before that.
Okay. Catch, go ahead and roll me a perception check with your stats right now.
All right.
This is
Okay.
hilarious.
Perception with my stats is a 17.
Okay. As Aristotle is falling, you look through their eyes, and one of the individuals who is pointing out the birds that are flying and seeing the cat falling directly looks at Aristotle kind of as they are falling and just kind of stares into their eyes, and you see that they have golden irises. And you kind of like it is instinctual. It looks like as though they are looking through Aristotle at you.
As soon as that happens, vamping Aristotle out.
Well, that's the thing. It's sort of a you see this,
Oh no.
and Aristotle continues to fall. You are saying you're bamfing Aristotle out, or you are trying to, you know.
Yes.
You may go. I don't need that. Thank you.
Found it. Perfect. Sorry, I found the perfect Aristotle picture of Aristotle falling.
Oh gosh.
Thank you for offering some to Richard.
Sorry, this is what Aristotle looks like falling, like in all actuality.
Is he flipping off?
Yes.
Nah.
I feel like that's
Mine.
a little bit of a Jacob protest right there.
Okay.
I guess my sad cat memes.
Oh.
Anyway.
Through all of this, as you're seeing everything, and it seems to be like business as usual in this town, and then it's like catching the eye, and it's two individuals seemingly instantly recognizing each other through this doomed cat. And then all of a sudden you are back in your own eyes. And Aristotle is hanging onto the back of the saddle, like with his paws stuck in the phoenix's down. Just trying to like, hang on like a kind of like flapping behind like a rag doll.
All right, I'm gonna bamf Aristotle.
Check right now.
I'm bamfing Aristotle out of existence.
Okay, you see him immediately just kind of lose grip and just start flying backwards behind the bird, and then just eventually poof.
And then in Zace's lap, Aristotle is going to appear.
Okay. Aristotle the cat appears in Zace's lap.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that suffering.
Aristotle's just going to look at you and just go, meow.
My heart.
As you
my
kind of
cheeks
feel
hurt.
Aristotle in your lap, he is shaking.
No, Aristotle is not shaking. I have command over this animal, and this animal is not shaking.
Fair enough. Aristotle is stone cold.
Because Aristotle is a beast. Aristotle was not afraid that entire time. Aristotle was like, okay, mission, I got this.
Fair enough.
Aristotle has no concept of life or death. Aristotle was a crab for the major part of its
you're defending
existence.
that you did something bad to this poor little kitty.
You know,
Aristotle used to be a crab.
Do you realize that
this is
Aristotle
Ketch's
is
familiar. Ketch, yeah.
Catch him
Aristotle
Yeah.
is unremarked. Like, he is unfazed. He is being a cat. He is just like, yeah, I just fell 1,000 feet in the air. What about it? I'm a
I'm
cat.
still going to pet the cat.
Aristotle will
And feel
accept
bad
that.
for the cat.
I'm a cat.
I mean, yes.
Like, this is Tuesday. I'm gonna go lick my butt after this.
Also, news, everyone.
Feed me.
Someone with golden eyes was looking right at Aristotle as Aristotle fell, and then us. Just letting you know, not the greatest, probably thing you want to hear, but someone with
Not really.
golden eyes, cough cough, golden dragon, was looking. It feels strange to say, but looking at me through Aristotle.
Huh. Well, that
Um,
doesn't sound good.
that definitely does not sound good, no.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, if you jeopardize this mission, I will personally have this bird pick you up and drop you 1,000 feet from the air.
I thought I was getting reconnaissance. I didn't know someone would look up.
Who wouldn't look up upon hearing that?
Upon seeing a cat falling, I would.
But I mean, I don't think anyone would hear a cat 100 feet above the air. Or, I guess, 100... 100 feet, that's about right.
Well,
I mean, how fast does a cat fall? Does anyone know how to do the math?
Does anybody know the terminal velocity of a cat?
Just off the top of your heads, for science.
Please don't do anything to a cat.
Okay, I am gonna Google terminal velocity of cat and then get put on a watch list.
As if
You're
we
a
have
storyteller.
already.
You're already on a watch list.
I know.
If you're not on a watch list, you're doing something wrong.
60 miles per hour.
Okay, and we're 1,000. Oh wait, I don't know feet and miles. How does that work?
I believe the cat would have reached terminal velocity.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's terminal velocity is the speed at which it's traveling
With limits.
in relation to what is. I believe it has something to do with gravity.
Well, I thought so. That's what I was thinking too. How fast was gravity breaking?
It's
So
It's
the average
it's
person,
once
like a
it's when
skydiver,
it stops
reaches.
speeding up. I think.
Yeah, so the cat reaches terminal velocity about half as much as a normal person would. A normal person, say skydiving, would reach 120 miles per hour.
Okay, so for the sake of this being dramatic, and for also the sake of your natural one,
Yeah.
essentially, you did not get Aristotle out in time. He essentially was continuing to fall, and so when you saw the golden eyes, like they were eye level with each other, and so it was just like just the two of them staring at each other, and then eventually, like as soon as Aristotle was about to hit the ground, he was just like bam, and just
Eye level, Aristotle just goes meow, vanishes.
Okay, yeah, no, but like it for a split second, it was just a staring contest between this individual and Aristotle, the falling cat.
Okay, writing down in my spell, find familiar, a caveat that says slight Banff delay depending on like
note to
how
self,
many,
don't
how
make
much
my
it is away.
familiar without wings.
Like slight
Why
delay.
was Aristotle a cat before?
In fact, make him a
We
flying
had casted
squirrel.
him as a cat before,
This is the first time Aristotle has been a cat.
Yes.
I would like you to make
and
him
it
a
might
flying
just be the
squirrel
last.
in life.
A white fluffy cat with some black little splotches that seem to be almost like sketch lines around their figure from a certain angle.
Yes.
And deep purple eyes.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Is he cute?
Okay.
Anyway.
With the cat trauma there, I think that's a decent place to end it.
We're
I
flying north.
You're flying north,
dropped a cat,
dropped a
The
cat,
cat.
as you do, just casually.
100, 1,000 miles up in the air or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
It's a good thing PETA doesn't exist in this world.
this world. Not that PETA
Don't
would
worry,
have
the
done
next
much
form,
help,
Aristotle
arguably.
is going to be a
That's
bird
true.
next and is going to be able to fly all they want.
That's true.
Let's see, I'm thinking
Next
raven or
form
hawk.
of Aristotle's gonna have wings.
Are there any flying cat breeds?
Apparently, what a purely white one with some black sketch marks on it and
Is
deeply
not
violet
one.
eyes.
You could go for like a crow or raven next time.
Or even like maybe a flying squirrel?
That's fun.
Or a
I
flying
literally
fish.
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We would need a water for that.
true.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
just
you
like
could,
any
since
animal.
floating disc, the water, and just keep him in there.
Okay, Aristotle's next form confirmed.
Okay.
Oh.
I saw that. That's where I got the idea from.
I don't know how to feel about it.
me too.
I love it. That is adorably cute and
I mean, it is cute in some
reminds me
ways,
of,
but
like, a
also a
bat.
little creepy.
Why not just a bat? Bats are
Like,
adorable.
why not just a bat?
it's a flying cat though.
Bat is literally one
Bat
letter
is
away from
flying
cat.
puppy.
But bats aren't nearly as cute as cats.
Oh, disagree.
Bats are adorable.
And bats are. It's safe to drop a bat off of a giant bird. Safer.
Aw. Most things are safer to drop off a giant bird than cat, I would argue.
Look, it's the same exact cat gif, but as a bat.
Oh. That's from Hotel Transylvania, right?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I admit that bat's cute.
To be fair, that bat is a person.
No, the first one.
Oh, the first one, yes, that bat is very cute.
Okay, that one's cute. Damn it.
Bats are cute.
Bats are
I've
adorable.
actually
Desi,
held
say it.
Bats
Say
are-
bats are cute.
I didn't say they weren't cute. I just said cats were cuter.
Have you never seen them eating? I love watching Instagram videos of
I
just bats
actually, whenever I was in school, the St. Louis Zoo came to our thing with bats, and I got to hold one.
Nice.
So I've actually seen them up close. As I said, not as cute as cats. Never said they were not cute.
Fair enough.
Cats have a magical power, though, I'm telling you.
Yes,
Cats are
flying.
magical.
We all have, we know this already. Flying is the cat's magical power.
No,
Clearly.
cats' magical powers get anyone who doesn't like cats to like cats.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
Have you met someone who doesn't like cats not liking cats after they've met a cat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
actually, I do know people who don't like cats.
I know
Or
someone who
specifically
despises
dog
cats.
people.
Even after, like, having a cat for, like, a bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Okay, that must not be my cat. That was a different cat.
Alright.
What's the title of this episode, Andrew?
That's a
Cat.
great question.
Question.
Cat fall.
A lot of interesting things happened.
Catfall's not a bad one.
I don't like that one.
Catfall.
Oh,
I
what
don't-
about codename TNT Catfall?
No, that's
It
not
won't
good.
work because it wasn't even TNT.
Oh my god, we're talking about cats again because TNR is what they do to cats. Oh my god, we're just being mean to cats today.
You realize those abbreviations could stand for just about anything, not just cat neutral. Like,
That's the first thing
I
that
can't
came up when I
even say it.
googled
I
it.
can't even say the word because my tongue is tripping over itself.
That's the first thing I found when I googled the word.
I
Deliver.
mean, in fairness, we should probably try to have it be an acronym that doesn't exist.
I mean, that's a
That's
hard
gonna
thing to
be
do.
hard.
Got it. Okay, so we need to find an acronym for T. How about MNT? I don't think that
Yeah,
exists.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
That's what I thought.
Jacob, that one is old as hell.
No, I don't know what you're. I think that's a totally
You
fair use.
liar! You're totally taking it for the movie.
TMNT is totally fair use.
You just want it to be that.
Not really, honestly. I'm not a big fan of TMNT as far as a name. As far as the show goes, yes, and the cartoons and the
Maybe
well,
we
the
just
movies
need
were
a
okay.
different name. Or we just don't need a name.
I agree.
I think a name would be good for our brand.
Our brand? What
What
brand? Are
brand?
we selling ourselves now? I
We
did not
will drop
agree to
all
be a
of your
brand.
cats out of the sky.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We airdrop cats. Well, air.
I was just like, we'll neuter your cats.
Oh my gosh.
What is our business? Our business is parachuting cats.
Operation Dumbo Drop, but for cats.
No.
For cats.
My cat is sad about today's episode.
Okay.
Oh,
Amber does not like.
Amber does not approve.
That first picture though looks like a little smile, like a cheeky little like
That
is like, no,
that
that is the look of annoyance on a cat's face.
Yes, because that picture's taken when she was taken off of Ginger's food.
Before and after finding about Aristotle's parachute or skydiving journey.
What?
That's
I just
the-
like to note whoever was on the ground just saw a cat fall face to the earth and disappear.
I love our landsliding response to Jacob doing this. It just happened, and here we are.
Yeah.
I did
Jacob,
not think it.
Jacob, today was not a day for you. First, me and Mary were attacking you in our game earlier.
Oh, but I enjoyed that.
I know.
I mean I enjoyed this too, but like I don't get me wrong, like I enjoyed like even like the gentle nudges, like I'm gonna put the rubber back on your property. Oh, I'm gonna put the rubber back on your property. Like that was fine. It was just good fun, Settlers of Catan style.
And yet you still won.
Undefeated 5 times in a row.
Trying so hard. We're going to beat you at some point.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like the next game you just stop trading with me at like full force.
I mean, that'll do it.
Yeah, like it's gonna be less beneficial for you, but it's gonna be way less beneficial for me.
Okay. Well, I will talk to you all later.
Yeah.
My
Same
feet
here.
hurt.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone. Have a beautiful time.
Yep, see
Have a
ya.
good rest of your evening.